Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. I couldn't even get my words out there. Of course, this is a massive deadline today. I feel like the news we could get in the next few hours potentially could be some of the most important news we get throughout the course of the FPL season. It is that big, and of course, we're going to try and cover absolutely everything. Of course, the updates regarding the Fulham players, Arsenal, Declan Rice, what's happening with him, what's happening with David Raya. If we get any further updates, of course, regarding Erling Haaland. Now, Pep has just done his press conference and give us a small update on Nico O'Reilly and, of course, Erling Haaland. So we're going to run through that. We're going to discuss, obviously, what to do if you, of course, are thinking about potentially looking at selling some of these players this week, who you're obviously going to give the captaincy armband to as well. There is so much going off this week. It could genuinely be a mega week. And of course, if you do enjoy any of the content, you know the drill by now, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, yeah, all that good stuff. We are obviously going to try and keep you up to date as much as possible. Like I said, there is going to be so much flying in today. So if you do have any news as well that potentially we do miss, get it in the chat. We'll try and obviously cover every single topic that is on people's minds. We're doing team reviews over in the Discord server as always. So yeah, make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. But let's dive in straight away with the big news first. Let's go with that one. So obviously this is the update that we've had regarding Erling Haaland, and Pep has basically said that Erling Haaland and Nico O'Reilly will be assessed after training today. And he also said that Haaland does feel much better. So again, it's kind of one of those where how do you really want to judge that and how do you really want to take that is up to your own interpretations, because Haaland and Pep, you know, he can say some very weird things, but I do believe this for me probably gives me enough creditation to probably keep him for this game week. And of course, we might get some pictures a little bit later of the team training. And if we, of course, get some of Erling Haaland, I think that gives me enough confidence to probably stick with him as an FPL option for the upcoming game week. Of course, as well, there are some kind of misquotes being flown around this that you might see over on socials as well. And it basically says like Erling Haaland and Nico O'Reilly haven't trained yet. Well, City didn't train yesterday anyway, so none of the squad trained yesterday. So it's kind of one of those where it's a little bit of like a misprint that I've seen a few people tweeting around. So yeah, Haaland and Nico O'Reilly, like I said, haven't trained yet, but none of the City squad have. So of course, we're going to have to wait for any further updates on that. But yeah, it feels about what we were probably going to expect to get from Pep Guardiola. And I think there's two ways you can read into this, right? For me, I think he probably plays. Like, I do probably think he just plays, realistically. I think that's going to be it, isn't it? I think he probably will. I'm going to stick with him, to be honest, in my team. I feel if we'd got something from Pep saying, you know, like, oh, we're still a little bit unsure, you know, maybe this game's going to come a little bit too quick, then I definitely think I probably would have pulled the trigger and looked to sell him. And I think if you are going to sell him, I think there are three options, right? You go Thiago, you go Ekatike, or if you're like me, you've already got both, you're probably looking about DCL like level. That's realistically where you're going to go. So yeah, that is where we're going to go. Stuff about Rodon. Yeah, I saw Joe Rodon yesterday, I believe the update was from Leeds' press conference, and apparently he's fine. So yeah, that's what I've got for you on Rodon. Anderson, I believe the Fulham one is at 1:30. Mistake me if I'm wrong on that one, but let me have a quick check. I believe the Fulham update is at 1:30. So like I said, we'll try and keep you guys posted as best as we possibly can. Let me have a look for you on that one. But yeah, I think it's a 1. I think it's at 1. Yeah, I think it's at 1. Let's have a look. What we got? Press conferences times. Yeah, Silva and Arteta are both at 1 at 1:30. So we've got 29 minutes to wait. And of course, we will try and keep you guys up to date with as much news as possible that is breaking during that time period as well. How do I feel about Verts to Semenyo? Yeah, I don't mind that. Of course, you've got to have maybe a way to navigate blank game week 31, but it could be a really good option. City's fixture in blank game week 31 could still end up back in game week 31. So, yeah. Should I trust Gakpo or Salah? If Salah, should I captain Salah or Ekatike? Salah has been really disappointing, right? But a lot of the models you will see highly rate him. Like, they think he's the best thing since sliced bread, right? And for very good reason, because his points per game, his penalties, fixtures, it's all there, and that's what kind of, adds the multipliers to make it look really good and fancy. But he's just been off the boil recently. I'd be more tempted with probably a different midfielder, either outside of Salah and Gakpo, to be honest. I think, for me personally, Szoboszlai or Gravenberch would probably be better picks. That's personally where I would look to go anyway. Start Enzo or Fulham Anderson. I think as long as we get a positive update from Silva, I'm tempted to go with the Fulham Anderson. It was just illness that he missed out from the last game. So, yeah, I think we should be fine with that one, just being illness. So I think personally for me, yeah, we'll probably be fine on that one. Is Enzo a must sell? I already own Palmer. I actually think it's a pretty decent fixture for Chelsea this week. Villa have been really poor at the moment. So, yeah, I actually don't mind it. I actually don't mind that. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. I'm just having a scan through the chat, seeing anything that I've missed. Start Lafie or Hill. Ooh, who've Sunderland got this week? Where are they? Leeds. I would probably go Lafie. I never like benching penalty takers. Best Verts replacements. If Wilson is fit, he's going to be a fine option. Dango Otara for the next few weeks could also be a pretty decent option to look at. Szoboszlai, Gravenberch could also be pretty steady eddies, and die for a one-game week punt. Semenyo, if you can manage game week 31, they're probably the options you're going to be looking at. And Buemo could also be a pretty decent shout. Bruno, if you haven't got him, they're the players I personally would be looking at as well. Anderson for City, he got 5 points against Liverpool, though. Play Anderson or Gahey. I would probably play Anderson on that one. Yeah, I'm sticking with Elliot Anderson for now, but we'll wait and see how things progress throughout the course of today's deadline stream. Who is the best replacement for Rice? I pretty much just went through all the names I realistically would be looking at right there. Iwobi as well is another one I think people might be looking at as well, given obviously the sides that Fulham are facing over the next few weeks are really vulnerable to centre midfielders. And that is why I put a tweet out this morning saying I'm looking at Iwobi, I'm looking at Szoboszlai, because both of those guys, like the teams that they're going to be playing, are vulnerable to cams and centre midfielders. So could be real nice potential punts on either of those ones as well. Evan Nielsen out, Krupi in FPL starting 11 or bench. Yeah, Krupi could be a good option to go with this week. Not a bad fixture. Interestingly, Brentford are the leading sides for goals conceded to forwards as well. So, yeah, he could be a decent one to go for. Best 1 week punts. Probably any of the Liverpool players. Obviously, Wolves away, always going to be a fixture you want to probably look to target. I think if Wilson's fit, he'll be a great option. Iwobi could also be a pretty decent option as well. Maybe a Raul Jimenez potentially could be a decent option as well. Yeah, that's probably where my head would be at in terms of 1 week punts. Somerville going to cook. Let's wait and see, I guess. Let's wait and see. Kelleher or Henderson? I would probably go... Oh, that's a toughie. I think I'd actually be tempted to go Henderson, you know. Yeah, I think I would be tempted to go a Henderson. McAllister's last 2 games, I get it. I do get it. Like, he's been scoring plenty of goals, but yeah, I'm not feeling it. I personally think Gravenberch has like that more consistent DEFCON in him, and Szoboszlai as well has the free kick share. So that's why I probably would put those two above those ones. Worth me swapping out Kelleher for Pickford, have the Bravco on the bench? No, Kelleher's back fine. He missed the last game because of his child being born. That was it. So Keith Andrews, the manager, has said he will be back in. So genuinely wouldn't worry about Kelleher as an option. And to be honest, even if your main goalkeeper is injured and you've got to play Dubravka this week, I don't even hate it. Like, goalkeepers are so crap in this game. Like, they're just not worth making transfers over. They're really not. They're so low scoring and have very little upside. Calvert-Lewin captain. I don't mind Calvert-Lewin, but I don't think I would give him the armband. What are your thoughts on doing Haaland to Ekatike? I don't mind it. The The problem the problem for me is if Haaland is fit and he does play very good minutes this week, he's a great captaincy option. He's also a great captaincy option for game week 30. And if he doesn't blank in game week 31 as well, I'd still like to have him as a potential captaincy option. So that is the concern I have with Haaland and potentially selling him. For me personally, I'm probably in a boat where unless we get anything more concrete regarding Haaland, maybe like there's some pictures of him on the floor or whatever comes out of the training session, I'm leaving him in there. I'm going to stick with him. Yeah. Best Rice replacement. Yeah, I spoke about that one already. I would personally, for me, be looking at Wilson if fit, which we'll find out about 1:30. We'll also look at who else would we look at? Iwobi. As well from Fulham, you've got obviously Mbeumo, the more pricier category, potentially a Szoboszlai, a Gravenberch could also be pretty decent options to maybe look at as well. So there's a few off the top of my dome. There is a few off the top of my dome. Is Haaland playing? In terms of the Haaland update, we ran through it, but let's run through it again for people just joining the stream. And I feel like this could be a very constant theme we are running through quite a bit. Manchester City, Erling Haaland and Nico O'Reilly will be assessed after training today. Now, what you might see on socials is some posts saying, you know, they haven't trained yet. Well, none of the Manchester City side have trained yet. They didn't have training yesterday. So Haaland and O'Reilly will be assessed. They're both in training today. And Haaland does feel much better, apparently. So, yeah, there we go. That is what we've got to work with. Not the best, but at the same time, at least it's something. It's better than him being really vague. At least he said he feels a bit better. So we'll take that, I guess. We'll take that. But it does still very much feel like he isn't. So, yeah, it's kind of one of those, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of those at the moment. But of course, we'll be scanning socials, checking the news out, looking for anything that does, of course, come in as well. But yeah, like I said, we've still got nothing concrete on it. It's just kind of yeah, it's just kind of one of those, isn't it, really, where we've got to work with the information we've got, and it's a little bit crap. Start Sanchez or Dubravka. I would go with Sanchez on this one. The Silver press conference is at 1:30. Is at 1:30, that one. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could definitely get away with selling it. If you're that far back, you could realistically take a risk on Haaland being out and really go for it the next few weeks. I don't mind that as a potential strategy to maybe look at. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, all the press conferences will be done in the next few hours. So, of course, we'll try and keep you guys across absolutely everything that comes in. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll try and keep you updated with everything. What I need to look at is where can you go for the press conference today? Is there a way I can like watch the press conference for Fulham? That's what I want to know. I just want to see the press conference. Thiago, not a good captaincy option. He's a fine captaincy option. I just think, for me personally, the players that we've put on the list right here are probably going to be the more standout captaincy options. As you can see, Haaland's still leading the poll for now. Bruno F in second. Ekitike actually in second, sorry. Bruno in fourth-ish. He's kind of middling around with Semenyo. So, yeah. Am I benching Enzo? I haven't decided yet. I do think it's probably a toss-up between what news we get from Marco Silva, and of course, then if I want to play Anderson or I want to play Enzo Fernandez. But right now, yes, we are currently benching the pair of them. Should I sell Szoboszlai for Callum Wilson? No, keep Szoboszlai. Benny Man Sports. Okay, let's have a look at that. Benny Man Sports. Okay, here we go. Do they do lives or do they? Oh, they do lives. Okay, cool. Cool. We'll have a look if they do anything for either games coming up, and we'll put it on in the background. I'm not going to put it on the screen because I don't obviously want to get done for like copyright, but I'll put it on my phone and then I'll just voice whatever comes out of it, to be honest. But yeah, I am trying to find a stream to a press conference. If anybody's got any, that would be great. Is Rice fit again? We're gonna have to wait at 1:30 for the updates from Arteta and of course from Marco Silva. Hi Tom, would you sell either Cash or Hall in draft mode to Bogle? Probably more likely Matty Cash, right? Would probably be the one. Start Elliot Anderson or Rice. Again, let's wait and see what update we get on Declan Rice from Arteta before pulling, obviously, the trigger on any moves this week. That would be my suggestion. But yeah, if anybody knows where I can watch the Arsenal or Fulham press conferences, that would be much appreciated. Where is Fulham's own YouTube channel? Haven't streamed anything for a year, so probably not the one. Let's have a look what we got here. Arsenal's YouTube channel. Again, doesn't look like it. Who is worth it more, Rodgers or Gibbs White? I mean, it's kind of difficult. I think Rodgers slightly comes ahead on my model in terms of who's going to score better. But yeah, both are kind of the same, aren't they, really? They kind of drift in and out of games, but they play pretty consistent minutes as well. So, yeah. We're not FA Cup matches to decide the next double game week. So we've got a round this weekend, then there's another round, I believe, in April that then decides it, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, that's where it'll be. Haters. Is that a YouTube channel? Ah, it is. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Appreciated. Hi, start Sanchez or Kelleher. I would probably still go Sanchez on that one. Yeah. Quack. Captain O'Reilly, Wilson, or Ekatike. I mean, two of those players probably a bit knackered, so I probably would just go with Ekatike on that one. Yeah, I probably would just go with Ekatike on that one. Yeah, we run through the update for Pep Guardiola. So if people are just joining, Pep basically said they're going to have to wait and see on Nico O'Reilly after training what they're going to be doing and then assess them there. So yeah, there we go. Rodgers or Enzo for Dango. Plan a wild card before game week 32. I mean, Rodgers' next two fixtures are crap, but his game week 31 fixture is great. So yeah. Is betting on Sesko a good idea? I mean, he's the most purple patch player, I would say, right now within the Premier League. Maybe behind like Iwobi, who's been smashing in goals in the past 2 weeks. But yeah, Benjamin Sesko feels very much purple patch right now. So it's kind of one of those, if you think the purple patch is going to continue, which it very easily could, then yeah, who knows? We could be in a decent position. Start Munoz or Van Dijk. For me, would probably go Van Dijk all the way on that one. Yeah, I would rather play Sanchez ahead of Dubravka this week. I personally would. Yeah, I personally would anyway. Like I said, guys, the next round of press conferences is at 1:30. So we'll try and keep you updated with absolutely everything that is going off in those press conferences. Is Sobo still playing right back or more attacking now? He's back at cam while Wirtz is out. And it looks like Liverpool are actually starting to get their right backs back as well. So yeah, he should be all right for the next few weeks. Hello, do I need to sell Haaland? I don't think you need to sell Haaland. It's kind of, we've all got to make our own interpretations of what Pep has said and decide whether or not we want to stick with him, to be honest. Who's better, Richarlison or DCL? I mean, DCL every day of the week. He's got penalties. He plays 90 minutes, and there's 3 great fixtures coming up for Leeds United. So yeah, he would be personally the one I would want to go for. Sorry. Like I said, we've got the press conferences for Arteta and Marco Silva coming up at 1:30. So we've got the YouTube streams hopefully ready, and we'll obviously stick with it. No news on Rice again. Like I said, Arteta and Silva will be at 1:30. I have all the chips left. Best strategy. Depends how many free transfers you've got, because I have seen some people saying potentially navigate the next few doubles and blanks with just transfers. But otherwise, I think the most common strategy that a lot of FPL managers will be going for is looking to wildcard in 32, bench boost in 33, free hit in 34, and then then potentially look at triple captain if there is a double in 36 or 37. That is like the preferred strategy that people are going for right now. I mean, this is the thing. Post game week 31, it's quite hard to decide who we're actually going to buy and sell at the moment because we're still waiting for double game week information. So yeah, there we go. Would you sell Wirtz plus Haaland to Salah plus DCL? I mean, if I was chasing, I probably would be maybe tempted to like fully chuck off Haaland and maybe give it a go. So yeah, I don't hate that if I was chasing. Who do I prefer between Sharda and Szoboszlai? Probably Sobo, but it's tight, that one. It is tight, that one. If you are enjoying today's stream, guys, by the way, make sure you are hitting that like button. Let's see if we can get this stream rattled up to 50 likes nice and early. It would be great to hit that milestone nice and early already. Is Haaland out? Nope. Pep basically just said that they're going to assess how he is after today's training session. So yeah, that's unfortunately all we've got for you. Is Harry Wilson still a good buy? He will be regarding whatever update we get here from Marco Silva and of course Arteta. Once we get those updates in, then we can kind of make our updates on that one. So yeah, there you go. I mean, some news regarding Harry Wilson has just come out from Fabrizio Romano. Apparently, Aston Villa are one of the clubs keen on signing him as a free agent. So yeah, take of that what you will, I guess. Captain Salah. I mean, if I had him, I definitely would be tempted to captain him this week. Yeah. Wilson is so consistent. Why does nobody think about captaining him? I mean, he could be a nice differential captain this week. He could be. Do I like Nottingham Forest? No. I am a Mansfield fan, and they're kind of like rivals, but not really. But at the same time, yeah, we're not going for it. What am I doing with my flag players? Haaland, I'm leaving. We're going to see what update we get from Marco Silva before making any decision regarding Anderson and Wilson. And then, like I said, we will then go from there on that one. Thank you for helping the stream hit 50 likes already, by the way, guys. It really is appreciated. If, of course, you are enjoying the content, make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. And yeah, it does help the channel. You reckon a cheeky free hit chip active this game week? I mean, I don't hate it. If your team's really in maybe a dire strait, maybe we get like a 1 week out. Wilson, Haaland still isn't quite there. Maybe Anderson's still not there as well. Maybe Rice as well. Maybe if you've got plenty of injuries, potentially could be the play to go for. Transfer to Tavernier, Szoboszlai, or Dewsbury Hall. I think for me personally, I'd probably look at the first two options. Everton fixtures in game week 30 and game week 31 are a little bit crap, but it is a great fixture this game week if you're just looking for the 1 week punt. But longer term, I would rather have Tavernier or Szoboszlai. Abby's in the chat, one of the members of the FPL cartel and a channel moderator. I hope you're doing good this afternoon. Abby, you might know the answer to this. We're trying to find some streams for Fulham and Arsenal press conferences. I think we found an all right one for the Arsenal one, but maybe the Fulham one as well. What do you think about bringing in Palmer this week? Personally, for me, I wouldn't go anywhere near him. There was a reason I avoided him. I just felt like his underlying data was pretty poor, and it has continued to be. Like, he's just been excelling on the penalties for a few good game weeks. Am I making any transfers? Let's wait and see. Obviously, it's dependent on what news we get on Wilson and Anderson, but I feel like if I don't, then I definitely could just leave it this week. Like, I realistically could leave it. We've got 3 players on the bench who could all maybe do something. The only other thought I've had is maybe taking out like an Enzo and bringing in a Dominic Szoboszlai or potentially an Iwobi. But other than that, yeah, I probably will just leave it. That's kind of how I see things. I'll probably just leave it. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know, obviously, we'll try and help you out. Looking at the poll so far, still a lot of you are contemplating on captaining Haaland this game week. Ekatike in second, Bruno and Semenyo in joint third at the moment as well. Do I stream on Twitch? I do not. I just stream on YouTube. Yeah, like this is the thing. I've been trying to find like any sources where, like, you know, they post their streams and stuff. Just having a look on Fulham's website now, see if there's anything. News. Hello, Tom. Start Hill or Malik Chow? I think I would actually probably be tempted to maybe go with Hill ahead of Chow on that one. Yeah, that would probably be it. If Rice injured, Sobo or Dango replacement, yeah, I think both are pretty steady options, aren't they, for the next few weeks? So yeah, I don't mind either of those guys if you want to go for them. Saw or Rogers? Who've Palace got this week? Where are Palace? Tottenham. I'd actually probably be tempted to go with Saw, you know, on that one. Yeah, I think Saw could maybe be the play that you go for there on that one. Replacement for Enzo and Zubamendi. I think if Wilson is fit, we look at him. Dango could also be a great shout. Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, all very, very good options heading into the next few weeks as well. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see on what Wilson's update is, to be honest. So yeah. Rice replacements, yeah, I pretty much ran through them there. Iwobi, Dango, Gravenberch, Sabozlai. They're probably going to be the names that you realistically are looking for. Maybe if you've got the money to stretch up to a Brian and Buemo could also be a pretty decent shout as well for this week. Who should be the priority buy, Ekatike or Thiago? I mean, both are very, very good buys this game week. And I feel like maybe it depends on your chip strategy. Like if you're not wildcarding in 32, then maybe Ekatike because of the double. Hi, Tom. In defense, start Anderson, O'Reilly, or Hill. I mean, if we get a positive update about Anderson, then we obviously start him. Sharda or Rogers? I mean, for the next three, probably Sharda. I mean, Rogers has one good game, but Sharda has quite a few over the next few weeks. I would personally probably go Sobo ahead of Dango Otara. But saying that, both of the players are coming up against sides that struggle with Cam, so benefits Szoboszlai. And of course, I posted it last week. The right wingers are really, really kind of susceptible for these sides. So maybe Dango could also be a great shot. I think, honestly, it is probably going to be tight, but both are really good options. Sharda or Dango, I don't really see a difference in between, like obviously paying that extra premium amount of money. So we're probably going to go with Dango. We are currently waiting for the press conferences to start at 1:30. As soon as they start, we will have you guys covered. We do team reviews over on Discord, so get your team sent into the FPL cartel. Let me put a chat link in that for you here. Let's have a look. Let's get this into the chat. Oh, mate, please do not spam. You are getting out of here. You've already been spamming a lot. So yeah, you've been spamming. Please don't spam, guys. Like we're all sophisticated adults here. Let's just try and, be nice, ask questions. There's no need to spam. No need to spam. All right? No need to spam. Essential Ekatike. I never think one player is like definitely essential, probably until they hit like, their captaincy options every single week. But Ekatike, maybe for this run of Liverpool games, and if Haaland is going to be out, looking how many people are captaining him, then his effective ownership could do some real big damage, really, couldn't it? So yeah, maybe over the next few, he definitely could be a player that you've got to keep tabs on. Who do I bench from Anderson, Dorgu, and Rogers? Probably. I mean, is that Dorgu? I can't tell if you spelt it wrong. Any Wilson update? Like I said, we are literally just refreshing pages now to see if there's like a Fulham stream going or an Arsenal stream, and then yeah, we'll obviously try and keep you guys updated with it. But yeah, I'm literally like refreshing all the sources that we've been sent for press conferences. But yeah, nothing live yet. Nothing live yet. This is an update from Newcastle, by the way. Nick Waltemada has gone down with sickness bug and is a doubt for the game. There's an illness within the squad. Jacob Ramsey vomited at halftime on Saturday. And yeah, it looks like there's kind of a little bit of an illness bug going around. So maybe Bruno might be the captaincy option to potentially look at this week. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows? Still, let's have a look. Fulham press conference. Let's have a look. Is anything live? No. No. So yeah, we are now apparently the presses have begun. So I guess it's now just a case of trying to find one. If anybody knows if any have started, please do let us know in the chat. Best 1 week punts. Probably looking at a Wobie and Dye. They could all be pretty decent 1 week punts. Maybe a Salah and Ekatike. The Liverpool guys with their good fixture this week as well. That is realistically where you probably want to be looking at. Yeah, the press conference has just begun. It's just literally like they all started at 1:30. So yeah. How many people are doing 1 week punts? I know we've had like a few questions about 1 week punts, haven't we? Had a few questions about it. The hardest call for me is a gamble Salah captain. I just punted it or go Ekatike. Really not sure. What final call do you reckon? I think for me, Salah's top on my model and the top a lot across a lot of models, but he's really bang out of form at the moment. I think I probably would be more tempted with Ekatike than Salah right now. However, all it takes is like 2 gammy penalty decisions, which is what like Cole Palmer got against these guys, and they come away with a mega haul. Like that is the beauty of always captaining a penalty taker is they've got that little bit of where they could even be having the worst game of their life, but if they rock up with a penalty, they're coming away with a decent score. So it's always one of those where I like to captain penalty takers for that exact reason. Yeah, we've not really decided on captaincy. Like I said, for me, I'm probably looking at Bruno Fernandes if I'm not going to go with Haaland for the captaincy. But that's about it. Let's have a look if we can find. Still doesn't look like anything started in the Fulham one. Right, let's head to this website because it looks pretty decent for it. Let's get this one up. So if I head to here and put in, let's see if it works for this. Can you guys see that? Yeah, that is it. That's exactly what we wanted. Go away. Anyway, live reporting here. So we're on the BBC press conference update page now. So with live reporting. So we'll try and keep you guys across absolutely everything that comes in. Obviously, I'll be reading the chat and stuff like that. For any updates we will get, hopefully we get them from here. Obviously, the news we had earlier was around Haaland, and pretty much the update we got from Pep Guardiola was basically saying, like, he's not trained yet, but none of the side have, but he's feeling better. That's what we got. No, Cities have already done theirs. We're now just waiting for Arsenal and Fulham. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep you guys across everything that is possibly going off. Like I said, it is going to be a big one today. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you guys out, try and keep you up to date as best as we possibly can with all the press conferences that are currently going off right now. So yeah, as soon as we get any news, hopefully it updates in the BBC page here. But as you can tell, yeah, I think we're all kind of waiting for the news on Rice, Wilson at the moment. So like I said, as soon as we get anything, we'll let you guys know, all right? So we've got the BBC page open and ready with live reporting, so that should update. Haaland out, Sesko in. Probably not for me, mate. But hey, if that's the route you want to go for, but personally for me, I probably wouldn't look at that. João Pedro to Ekitike worth a transfer. I think João Pedro could still be a very good option over the next few weeks. Like, I know the fixtures on the FDR look a little bit difficult. However, he could still do a lot of damage in them. There's some update coming in. This is exciting. Here we go. It's from Chris Sutton. Chris, mate, I don't care. I don't care about you, Chris. We don't care about you. Get the updates in. We want the Rice and Wilson updates in. I'm tempted to captain Haaland. My vice is on Bruno if he doesn't play. If I wasn't, I think for me Semenyo goes above Ekitike, but yeah, both are very good shouts for this week. Genuinely, both are amazing shouts for this week. Dango or Iwobi? Oh, I'd be more tempted with Iwobi. Yeah, I'd be more tempted with Iwobi. Nah, Chris can do one. We're waiting for updates here. And this is what we're getting from bloody Chris. Like, we don't care, mate. We're gagging for updates, all right? We're absolutely gagging for updates. And this is all this dweeb gives me. Anyway, guys, we'll try and keep you across anything that that does come in. I've got all the web pages open on my laptop as well. Obviously, we got the BBC page updating. Hopefully not with updates from Chris Sutton. And like I said, we'll try and keep you across absolutely everything that is going off right now, okay? Anything we get that comes in, we'll keep you across it, okay? What's the update on Nico Riley? Hasn't trained yet, but none of the City squad have. They're going to train today, and then they'll be assessed off the back of that. That's unfortunately all we've got for those guys. I personally would probably go with Munoz, Sobo, or Mbuemo for the next 5 fixtures. I think for the next 5, I would I think Mbuemo's more explosive. I'd rather have Mbuemo. Rice to Szoboszlai. Yeah, if we get news that Rice is going to be out, I'd be all over that. Yeah, I'd be all over that. Tavernier for Rice. Thoughts? Yeah, I like Tavernier. I do like Tavernier. Yeah, penalties is always something to bear in mind when you are picking a captain. It's just one of those things where I would rather have a penalty-taking player as my captain than a non-penalty taking player as my captain. I just think it's one of those things where you can see it so many times where a player might not even be doing great, but they get a penalty, they maybe get a little bit of confidence off that as well, or just get some points at least straight off the back. It is just one of those routes to points, and you'll see it all the time in models as well. They rate penalty takers so much higher than non-penalty takers. Probably Semenyo and Gakpo if you're looking for like a 1 weeker. That's probably realistically where you would go. It's one of those with Haaland, isn't it? Where I think we're going to be kind of hoping for any last minute news regarding it and then decide from there. We've got an update from Fulham. Silver on team news. Everything went well for Kevin, but difficulty to say time frame for the return. That's it. That's all we've got. We've got something from about Kevin. Nothing about yeah. Pretty much nobody knows the rules inside the box. Yeah, this is rubbish updates. Absolutely nothing. No update on Wilson for this one. Yeah, absolutely zero update. What's this guy's name? Jack Kelly. Let's bring his Twitter up a second. So this guy is a journalist covering Fulham, and this is all the updates we've got so far regarding it. So absolutely nothing really. Absolutely nothing in terms of a Wilson update, an Anderson update. Surely there's got to be more questions asked about it. Yeah, surely. Tavernier or Sobo? Oh, I think I'd still go to Sobo just for the uncertainty maybe around Tavernier's minutes. Like he has just come back from a long-term injury, but that would be the thing that would concern me. So yeah, that's all we've got so far in terms of an update. But yeah, not great. As you can see, this is the update we've had regarding so yeah, this is the update we've got regarding Wilson and Anderson. The last decision on some players will be made tomorrow. So again, absolutely zero to work with here in terms of the Harry Wilson update. So if I was thinking about buying Harry Wilson this week, I probably would be a little bit put off by it. I genuinely would. I think that update would probably give me enough to probably not buy Harry Wilson this week, right? Because there's still a last minute decision is going to be made on some players. That for me would probably be enough for me to go, yeah, I'm probably not going to go for it. So yeah, that would probably be enough. Anderson as well. I think with it just being sickness at the weekend, I would be tempted to play him. And just make sure you've got cover to come in, if not. But yeah, that is the update, unfortunately. That's all we've got, obviously, regarding the update. So not helpful in the slightest. Not helpful in the slightest, to be honest. So yeah, I think if I was looking to buy Wilson this week, probably wouldn't go near him now. If you've got him, I would probably hold on to him and make sure you've got a little bit of bench covered. Like if he is going to be out, then yeah, just have someone ready to come off the bench that could do something. But other than that, like that's pretty much what we're going to be dealing with here, guys. Is not a lot, not a lot, unfortunately. Oops. I mean this page is rubbish, by the way, for updates. Like genuinely terrible for updates. So yeah, that's all we've got on the Fulham one as well. Yeah, if you could like the video as well, guys, it would be appreciated. It does help push the stream out to more people, and there's nearly 500 of you sat in today's stream, which is a bit wild. So if you are enjoying the content, make sure you are hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting subscribe. It is really appreciated as always, guys. Yeah, this should have like FPL journalists just sat in the crowd, shouldn't they? They should have FPL journalists sat in the crowd waiting. Just waiting. But they won't. Right, now we've got to wait for, I guess, just Declan Rice. That's the last one we've got to wait for, really, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll keep our eyes peeled for... we will keep our eyes peeled for it, I guess, now. Would you buy a Wobie instead? Yeah, I definitely probably would buy a Wobie now instead. Yeah, I probably would look at a Wobie. That for me right there would probably give me enough ammunition to probably look at a Wobie instead of going with Harry Wilson for this week. So yeah, can we get a recap? Yeah, no problem. So Haaland, what we've got so far on him is he hasn't trained yet, but none of the City squad have. Pep's apparently he said he's improved. He's improved, whatever that means in terms of Pep's mentalness. And yeah, there's going to be obviously a decision made after training today. With the Wilson one, again, very similar situation. They're going to make a decision tomorrow on all the other injured players, is what Silva basically said. Like, not injured players, but other players. So that be Wilson, that be Anderson. So yeah, there's going to be a decision made on those there. So yeah, that's unfortunately what we're working with. Not a lot. Not a lot, to be honest. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what info we get regarding Rice. But yeah, at the moment, not great. Not great at all. Latest on Haaland. Haaland hasn't trained yet, but none of the City squad have, and there's going to be a decision made after training today. It's really crap. Honestly, it's really crap. And like I said, I probably now would go for yeah, I personally probably would look to go for a what's his face? Oh my god, I can't think of his name. A Wobie ahead of a Wilson now. Yeah. A Wobie for Rice or Enzo. Let's see what we get today from Rice. We're still waiting for that one. We're still waiting for this press conference. I haven't seen anything. Like, I'm not being rude and ignoring the chat, by the way. I am just trying to, yeah. Oh, yeah, probably knowing Arteta, we're getting absolutely nothing in terms of an update as well for that one. So let's wait and see, I guess. Let's wait and see. Obviously, we'll try and keep you guys across it. Apparently, there's something. Let's get back on this screen. I mean, this is the worst one ever. I thought this was going to be a good one, but it's crap. What about this one? Oops. Cheers, guys. Didn't want to see my details. Appreciate that, FPL. Cheers, guys. Team news from Fabian Hertzler. Might be an option to rotate on Danny Welbeck. So if people were maybe looking at an option at Danny Welbeck, probably going to be a rotation risk. But yeah, that's all we've got, unfortunately. A few people asking me again about the update on Harry Wilson. This is all, unfortunately, we've got here on this one. Everything went well for Kevin, but difficult to say with the time frame for a return. The last decisions on some players will be made tomorrow. So that is your Wilsons. That is your Andersons as well. Yeah, FPL making me put my password in. Cheers, lads. Appreciate that. But yeah, let's see if we get anything from Arteta. I doubt we'll get anything from Arteta that is useful or is positive. But yeah, right now, these are the updates we've got. So Harry Wilson, again, limited. Just sent the team on Discord. Cool. I think we've had a few teams sent in on Discord, so we'll go ahead and take a look at some of those. Let's head over to Discord. Of course, if you want to get your team reviewed by myself, this is the place to come and take a look. It is over on Sublaunch. And yeah, this is where you can get your team reviewed by me. So thank you for sending these in, guys. Really do appreciate it. Jamal says, what would you change? The plan is to roll 1.3 million in the bank with one free transfer. Again, depending what news we get on Rice, but I think that is a fine role for me, to be honest. Like, you've got all playing players on the bench. So if you have got, I think Anderson should be fine, but if all of them don't play, at least you've got decent options on the bench with fine fixtures. So I think personally for me, unless we get some news regarding Rice, then yeah, I probably think you're good to go, mate. I think you're good to go for this week. Should I get Ekatike for Haaland and then Rice to Salah? Again, I maybe would only do that move if we're going to confirm that Rice is 100% definitely out. Otherwise, it is a real difficult one because I do think Haaland could be a great option this week for captaincy and for next week in terms of captaincy as well. So I would be a little bit worried about that. Yeah, I would be a little bit worried about that. But yeah, that's where my mind would sit on that one. And it's also for a -4, so I don't think it's going to be worth the -4 in my personal opinion anyway. Let's have a look, see if we've had anything else come in through the door. Anything at all? Obviously, if you've got Luke Shaw or Harry Maguire, both went off. They both didn't go off because they were injured. They were substituted due to illness and will be assessed tomorrow morning ahead of the tie against St. James's Park. There's a real big lack of amount of illness going around at the moment, isn't there? Silva, a late decision will be made on players playing tomorrow. So again, absolutely not helpful in the slightest. Not helpful at all. So cheers for that one, mate. Really is appreciated. Matcha Mills is in the chat. Hope you're doing good. In terms of updates, Millie, not a lot. The press conferences have been crap. Wilson and Anderson, we don't know. There's going to be a decision made tomorrow, which is past the deadline. Haaland trains later today, and there'll be a decision made on him. So, yeah, unfortunately, the options we've got are not great. They're not great. Now we've just got to wait for any updates on the good old boy Mikel Arteta. This is the quote from Haaland, from Pep, by the way, on Haaland. Erling feels much better, but yesterday we didn't train, and none of the team trained, by the way. And now we have training, and we'll decide today. It's the same with Nico O'Reilly, and we will decide after training. So that's all we've got, unfortunately. They're going to decide after training for the City players. Wilson, Anderson, there's going to be a late decision made on both of those guys. And now we are finally waiting for the update from Arteta regarding any players that, yeah, might be injured or might not be injured. Who knows? Keep or sell Palmer to acquire a Liverpool asset. I personally, for me, would probably be tempted to sell him. Yeah, I personally would probably be tempted to sell him. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to ask me ahead of the deadline. Obviously, they're the updates we've currently got, and we don't have a lot. So, yeah, not great in terms of that. I'm just trying to see if there's like an Arsenal one anywhere, but it doesn't look like it's being filmed or press conference. Like it's not going out anywhere live. So I think we are just going to be waiting for any sort of updates we get. Let's have a look. But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline, do let me know. Yeah, City leakers a little bit closer to the deadline might be the key to all this. So I think obviously we're going to be live till about 4, but it will be a case of if we get any City leaks or any kind of, stuff from that, that's probably where we're going to be realistically looking this week. Any updates on this one? I don't think so. Let me give it a refresh. But yeah, it doesn't look like it. Cool. Let's move back to my team for now and answer some questions in the chat. Any solid confirmation? Yeah, we have absolutely nothing. Like the press conferences so far have been disastrous, really. Pep was very vague in terms of his updates regarding Haaland, and O'Reilly basically said we've got to wait and see. Pretty much the same with Silva, said we'll have to make a call tomorrow on Anderson and Wilson. So yeah, that's that. Yes, it does. Depending who's sat on your bench. For example, in my case, if I put Richards first sub here and Wilson missed out, I think it would be then it'd have to be like Enzo in the second spot or Rodgers that would have to come in. Start Enzo or Dango. I would start Dango. Bournemouth are a pretty poor side for goals conceded from right wingers. So, yeah, I would be tempted with that. One spot left for Liverpool. Have VVD, Ekitike, go Sob-O or Canate. I think I would be more tempted with going Szoboszlai than Canate. Why have Rodgers on the bench? I mean, have you watched Rodgers play in the recent weeks? He's been so disappointing. So disappointing. If there are any injuries, we can very easily make up for that. 4 flag, 2 on the bench, 2 free transfers, but not a wild card. I think that's fine. I think you can get through that. Start for Bergen or Dubravka. I would actually probably go Dubravka on that one. Yeah, I'd probably go Dubravka. 6.6, probably maybe a Raul Jimenez or a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, Raul Jimenez or Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be the names I would personally look at going for. Arteta was 30 minutes late to his press conference, by the way. just rocked up 30 minutes late. So yeah, good start. Play Wilson or Dango. I'd still give Wilson the nod. Yeah, for me, I'd still play Wilson. Do you think Dango will have limited minutes? Feels like a huge risk. No. I would probably go Sobo, Dango, Sharda in that order. Who is the best cheap defender to replace Mook? Hill. Hill is just so clear, isn't he? Fine him for the delay. I know, right? I know. We'll try and keep you guys, like I said, across absolutely everything and all the best we can, but we'll see. I mean, with Anderson, like we didn't get an update from it, and then all the other Fulham defenders could very easily be like dropped or rotated. I personally just wouldn't go near it. I genuinely personally wouldn't go near it. No update on Rice yet. We're still waiting for Arteta to actually turn up to his press conference. The update we got on Wilson was it's a wait and see, and Haaland again will be a wait and see after training today. So we might get some updates a little bit later. I've spent 30 minutes trying to make up another press conference live. Fully did. He was defo sat in the back like, what could I say? What lie could I say here? Yeah, fully just lying through his teeth, wasn't he? It 100% was just lying through his teeth. What position is Wolves' weakest? I heard you mention midfielder early week. Was that CDM, cam, or wings? Their weakest is centre mid, and they are the weakest in the league for that, by the way. If you want to go and find this information out for yourself, XG Stat is the website that I use. You do have to pay for it, but it is a very, very good website, and I would highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't have any affiliation to them. I just think it's a good website. And I will always tell you that, guys, as well. Sometimes, like, if I think a website is good and I'm not paid by them, I don't care if they can come and pay me if they want, but I think it is a great website. So I will happily, give people like credit where credit's due kind of vibe. You know what I mean? If you've got a good site that helps FPL managers, then I'm gonna push it your way, like regardless of if I'm paid or not, ultimately. Yeah, let's bring up the Wolves one then. Let's take a look at the Wolves one. So yeah, Wolves' position of vulnerability. Here we go. So first in the league and their most vulnerable position is from centre midfielders. Then is right back. Then is left back is also first. Right back is then second. Then in third place is right wingers, so Salah. Fourth is cams. Fifth is centre forwards. By the way, when I'm saying fifth, they're also fifth in the league for that position. So they're an absolutely torrid side for that. So yeah, I really could see one of the midfielders doing exceptionally well today for Liverpool. Gravenberch, Sobbo, McAllister. One of them is getting an attacking return, but I guess it's just a case of which one. Enzo to Ndai or Iwobi. I think Iwobi's got 3 good fixtures, and Ndai does have the penalties, but it's only 1 really good fixture. Then the next one's do get a little bit, cagey a little bit. Stack or Dango as first sub. I really like Stack. My model absolutely loves him, by the way. And if anybody does want to get the team reviewed by the model, we do that over in the Discord server, or of course, I can do some model picks as well. I think we read too much into positional data. Football isn't played like this. I do agree to a certain extent. However, from tracking this data over the past few weeks, there are trends. There's definitely, like, you can pick out trends that do emerge, and you can really see it with some sides. Like Burnley, for example, are one of the weakest sides for goal involvements to strikers and right wingers. Who got the involvements? Dango, Thiago. Like, again, there is kind of, precedent that this kind of is a way to look where repeatable actions might be occurring. So I think any information we can get on stuff like that is always going to be helpful for FPL managers. Still no update from Mikel Arteta yet. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what sort of information we get on that one. If I were to sell Rice, would you buy Sharda, Tavernier, or Sobbo? I personally would look at the latter two, purely for the additional strings they've got to their bow. Obviously, Tavernier has penalties and set pieces. Sobbo has set pieces as well. So yeah, that's for me personally where I would look at. Captain Ekatike or Semenyo? I probably would go Semenyo. I think he's my number 2 pick. Then I probably would look at Ekatike. Yeah. That's where I probably would sit on that one. Oh, we've had an update from Jack Kelly. Hold up a second. Jack, have you done it? Yeah, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got an update from Jack Kelly. Let's go, baby. As you can see here, more from Silver on the team news. Joachim Andersen will be back 100% sure. So we had a few people asking me about whether or not to buy it, whether or not to buy give that a repost. Whether or not to buy Joachim Andersen, there's enough for me really to probably go and buy Joachim Andersen as an option. But yeah, here we go. So Joachim Andersen 100% back. So if you've got him, that is one less player to worry about. Harry Wilson is one of the players that will be that they will have to keep assessing and let's see. So yeah, but if you've got Andersen, I see that as a dub. I see that as a big, juicy dub. So yeah, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're at. So yeah, Joachim Andersen is playing 100%. That's Marco Silva's thing. We'll take that. We'll take that. That's what we take all day. But still not a positive update regarding Wilson, so probably not going to be a buy in terms of him. Take a -4 to go from Mook to Joachim Andersen. I don't think I would do it for a -4 unless I absolutely had to. Ekatike or Bruno F captain. I'd be more tempted to go with Bruno F. I'm personally going to stick. I think I'm going to stick with Haaland as my captain, have Bruno as my vice. Because I think Haaland either plays this game right or he just doesn't play at all. Like, that is how I'm seeing it. And I think because everybody is so split this game week that I've got Ekatike. He's not going to hit over 100% effective ownership. So I've still got him. So I should still be fine this week. And I think because so many people are going off Bruno, he'll drop below 100% as well. So yeah. But yeah, if people are just joining, this is the update we've got from Marco Silva regarding Joachim Andersen and Harry Wilson. Joachim Andersen is 100% back. Harry Wilson is one of the players that they will keep assessing, and we'll see tomorrow if he's available for the game. Hey, Jamie. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you are doing good. Yeah, what a start to the first hour, eh? Like, this has been pretty crazy. See if we've got anything else in. Obviously, we're still waiting for the Arteta and Arsenal updates, but we'll obviously keep them coming in. People asking about Haaland. It's going to be a wait and see after training today, but apparently, according to Pep, he does feel better. So, again, take of that what you will. Best Rice replacement is probably going to be Mbeumo, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. Who else have you got in that bracket? Dango, maybe, Iwobi. They're probably the names you want to be looking at. Maguire went off with sickness, and a decision will be made tomorrow. Just seen someone put that in the chat. Yeah. I think that would give me enough confidence to buy Andersen if I wanted him, that he's 100% back. But I think Timber could be a fine hold for this game week as well. Oh, big up, Jamie. Love that. Love that. Hey, mate, the greens are coming back. The greens are coming back into fashion. I even got a massive green this week. Stack or Tavernier for the next 3. You know what? I'm going to go Tavernier just because of the penalties, but Stack is also a very good shout. Let me bring up my model real quick. Of course, if you want to come and check this out for yourself, we will leave a link in the description. But this is my model. Let's have a look for next 3 game weeks. And let's go top to bottom. This is currently filtered by midfielders. So Salah's top, Bruno and Mbeumo, Harry Wilson if fit and available, Palmer. Look how high Anton's stack is up in this list, by the way. Look how high Anton's stack is up in this list. It is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Tavernier also up there as well. Rogers and Dai Awobi. I think we've had a few people obviously mention him. Semenyo could be a decent shout as well. Sobo all the way down here. Yeah, not the model isn't as keen on Szoboszlai, is it? Dango as well, all the way down here now as well. Gravenberch. Yeah. Enzo really far down here, by the way. But yeah, like I said, the model is in love with Tavernier. It loves Stack as well. So yeah, maybe this is where you go in terms of your options. Yep, the update we got around Anderson is he is 100% fit and Harry Wilson will be assessed. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, it looks good. It does feel very luxurious, that move. I can't lie. That does feel like a very luxurious move. And Buemo, Sobo, or Tavernier in for Rice. I think looking at that data, I would be really tempted with Mbuemo. Where's Newcastle's like positional weaknesses? Because if their weakness is like wingers, then I would be tempted. Let's have a look. Where are Newcastle's? I think Newcastle's weaknesses are centre backs, and obviously Branthwaite scored last week against them. Yeah, right wingers. They're currently 18th most vulnerable for that. Centre backs, they're 3rd. So yeah. There we go. Who am I planning as a captain this week? I've currently got it on Haaland, but we'll wait and see. At the moment, we are just refreshing for team news, trying to find anything. But yeah, as soon as we get anything, we'll keep you guys posted. We will keep you posted. We literally are just waiting for the Rice one now. Rice is the final one we're waiting for. But other than that, we've got the rest in. Start Hill or Munoz. I would probably go for Munoz. Buy Anderson or Van der Berg for a bench boost in game week 30. I mean, now we know Anderson's fit, it's fine. What are your thoughts, Captain in Salah? Not a bad option. He's top of the model, but you know, Wolves is I think our 3rd or 4th for goals to right wingers, goal involvements to right wingers. No worries, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Arteta's apparently just arrived. Jesus. How's he just arriving? He was meant to go on 45 minutes ago, by the way. And someone just said in the chat he's not even there. I still probably would play Wilson ahead of Dango this week. But if you want to come and see the full model, it is available in the FPL Cartel Discord. I'll run through some more picks in a little bit, but yeah. That is the place to come and have a play around with it. I just joined. What's the latest? The latest is Haaland and O'Reilly. We will have to wait and see after training today for a decision to be made on them. Wilson, there will be a late update. There'll be an assessment, and then they'll decide this tomorrow. Anderson is good to go and 100% ready for the game. Now we're just waiting for Arteta and Arsenal. So yeah, that's all we're waiting for now. But yeah, we'll try and keep you guys obviously across it this week. Wilson, it is going to be a late call made on Harry Wilson. They're going to assess him today and make a decision tomorrow. So that for me would probably be enough to probably keep him within my side if I owned him. I wouldn't buy him probably off the basis of that information though. That for me would give me enough room to probably go, I'm not going to buy you, but I will keep you. That's how I see it personally for me. Like, I'm not going to buy Harry Wilson, but I'm very happy to keep him, like, in case he does play. Yeah, Wilson will be assessed tomorrow. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's been a very exciting kind of, stream. Rice update posted by Focal. Let's go. Straight to Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. Straight to Twitter. He was much better today. Hopefully he's going to be much better tomorrow. And apparently White is out again. So yeah, that's the update we've got for Declan Rice. Again, all of them have been a bit wishy-washy today, haven't they? Much better today. Hopefully he's going to be better tomorrow. Yeah, this game week is very, very swingy. I 100% agree. I think if you've got like a full 11 or, a full kind of, team, then I think you're probably a little bit lucky and probably maybe just need to sit on your hands this week. And yeah, try and play through the stuff. Have we got any further updates? Let's keep obviously pressing on for any further updates. Matt Very. Have to wait and see on Martin Odegaard, and same with Kai Havertz as well. But Declan Rice, he's much better today. Hopefully he's going to be better tomorrow. So there you go. Obviously, we'll keep you guys posted across any further updates we do get in terms of team news. But it does feel, again, all of them have felt a bit wishy-washy. But I would say at least that's a positive-ish update. Yeah. Again, I think all the updates we've got regarding Rice and Wilson would personally make it so I wouldn't buy any of these players. But I don't know if I'd sell any of them. I think the beautiful thing of maybe selling off Rice is if you are on a wildcard 32 strategy, he doesn't have a fixture in game week 31. So there is that option to, of course, look to potentially sell him off. But yeah. Let's obviously wait and see, guys. Let's see if we get any more information. Do you think there's a chance of a Wilson could come on as a cameo? Very easily could happen. I'm not ruling that out. That very easily could be an option that we maybe see. Yeah, that definitely could just be an option we see. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure you are hitting that like button. Let's try and get today's stream up to 200 likes as quick as possible. And yeah, let's see where we can get today's stream up in terms of viewers. I can't remember what my most viewed stream is ever, but we might be close to it. Hi, Tom. Captain Ekatike or Bruno? I would personally rather go for Bruno this week. Hill or Chalobah and Tav or Rogers? Tav and probably Hill. Iwobi for Enzo. I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. I think he could be... Iwobi could be a really fun and exciting pick over the next few weeks. He really could. Bench one, Krupi, Hill, Troffair. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to go double defense, so I probably would bench Troffair. Yeah. Like button smashed. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, my guy. Thank you very much. Iwobi for Enzo. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that could be an okay option. Again, let's bring up my model. Of course, if you want to come and check this out for yourself, you can come and do so in the FPL Cartel. Like, it's my exclusive Discord server where we do team ratings, model review ratings, and of course, you can come out and have full access to my model. But looking at the midfielders for the next 3 game weeks, then what we can see here is Iwobi is up there, very much up there. Stack is like the weird one that the model loves for some reason right now. Harry Wilson, obviously, if he is fit and available, still really fancied. Palmer's still looks like he could be a pretty decent option as well. Rogers and Dye, I mean, he's got this great fixture this week, but Again, I guess it's because of the penalties and defensive contributions. Semenyo only with the 2, but could still have a fixture in game week 31 as well. Also looks like a very viable option to maybe consider. So yeah, there's some nice picks in here. There is some nice picks in here. I think someone asked if we could look at forwards. Yeah, no problem. Let's have a look at forwards. So obviously Haaland top, Bowen second, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. Everybody's talking about Ekitike, Thiago, João Pedro. Everybody's talking about all these guys, but maybe everyone's just forgetting how broken Jarrod Bowen is, because he can hit defensive contributions, has penalties, and does just play 90 minutes every single week. So, yeah, and his points per game are very, very good as well. So, yeah, the model's love child of Jarrod Bowen is actually the second best forward for this game week. So, for the next 3 weeks, sorry. So, maybe, who knows? Who knows? We can also take a look at defenders as well. Van Dijk, no real surprise there. Chalobah, who I've seen a few people maybe look at suggesting selling off this week. Looks like he could still be a pretty nice hold as well. Tarkowski, obviously the fixture this week, probably doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Konate, Alderente, Gabriel, Malik Chow, if you've got him, Senesi, Ballard, Truffert, Cash. Yeah, all pretty decent options to hold through for the next few weeks as well. So, yeah, there we go, guys. Those are my model's top picks for each position. Bowen gang, mate, Jamie, you would love the model. It absolutely, every single week, loves Jarrod Bowen. It just literally loves Jarrod Bowen. Alderente or Rodgers to bench? I would rather probably bench Alderente. It's an away fixture for Sunderland, and they're not great on the road. They are not a great side on the road. So, yeah, that's probably where I would lean on that one. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Like I said, keep hitting that like button as well. Let's see if we could get today's stream up to 200 likes. It would be really appreciated. Obviously, we're trying to keep you guys across as much team news as possible as well. Really considering VVD for captain. I think it's a week to maybe go a bit different, but I don't know if it's going to be that different. Yeah. Looking across a few polls as well on YouTube and socials, still looks like Haaland is going to be kind of one of the most popular captaincy options for this game week. So I think I would still probably personally give him the armband, and then probably look at, just having a decent vice who's got no sort of issues, no rotation worries. So for me, that's Bruno Fernandes. Like, I think Ekitike could only maybe play 75. But he's still a very good option and could do lots of damage in 75. But I do think Bruno could be the one. Yeah, we've seen the Rice news. We've gone through it already in today's stream. But yeah, a big one, that one. Let's have a run through of everything we've had so far. So, Arteta on Rice, he is doing much better today. Hopefully, he's going to be better tomorrow. White's out. Havertz and Odegaard, there's going to be a late call on as well. In terms of Fulham updates, Joachim Andersen is 100% back. Harry Wilson is one of the players that they will keep assessing, and we'll wait and see on that one. What other ones did we get? In terms of Erling Haaland, Erling feels much better. Same with Nico O'Reilly. But yesterday we didn't train, and now we have training. We'll decide today. So there's going to be obviously a call made on Nico O'Reilly, made on Erling Haaland in terms of their overall fitness. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that one. But that's where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is obviously where we're at in terms of team news. And I guess the next kind of decisions to be made are, number one, what do we do with my team? I think captaincy, I'm hold on. I think captaincy, I'm pretty set, right? I think I'm going to go with Haaland. We're going to have the vice on Bruno, unless we get any like late leaks or anything like that. We're going to stick with Haaland as the captain, we're going to go with Vice Bruno Fernandes. That is where I'm looking at. Yeah, I'll check the Discord in a second if we've had some teams sent in. But yeah, that's realistically how I'm feeling right now. Is I'm going to go with Haaland for the captain. Going to stick Bruno as the vice. The other decisions we've got to make is, do we play Hill? Do we play Anderson? Do we play Enzo? Do we play Rodgers? Do we play Richards? They're all the players that I think for me, I need to kind of decide what order I want to play them in. And I think we'll take a look at my model in that one for a second, see what it's saying for projected points for this game week and kind of go off the basis of that. I'm also maybe thinking about a midfield transfer for Enzo Fernandez. That is something that I am thinking about. If you want to join the FPL Cartel Discord, this is the link to come and sign up. So yeah. Was Andy sus last week? It's one of those, isn't it, where I'm not really going to comment because I didn't watch it and I've kind of not really taken an interest in what's going off. It doesn't bother me, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. If he's got information, he's got information. If I ever got information, I would probably share it with, I genuinely would either reject it or share with you guys. That's it. But obviously, you could be leaving other people at a disadvantage because you've got it late on. But I've never been in that position, so I can't comment what I would do. Bench Rodgers, Dango, or Wilson. I would probably bench Rodgers out of all the options you've named there. Yeah, I probably would. But yeah, let's head over to the Discord. Let's head over to the Discord and get some teams reviewed. Here we go. Janice has sent his team in here, and I'm going to just reply to that one. No. Janice has replied here with their team, so they can play Verge, Vandenberg, any of those. I think, to be honest, it's a roll. I really, really do think that is just a roll. Maybe if you are going to make one transfer, Dorgu for like Anderson potentially could be worth a shout, but I think the defense is pretty strong already heading into this game week. If you wanted to replace Rice, that could also be maybe an option. You've got a little bit of money in the bank. I don't think you can afford any playing strikers, so that probably rules out that as a move, to be honest. But yeah, it probably only would be maybe like Dorgu to Anderson, but other than that, I think you could very easily just roll through. Yeah, roll through and hope that you like at least one of the guys plays is kind of how I would personally see it. Anyway, let's look at game week 29 on the model, and what I need to do is put all the players in that I am thinking about for this week. So Richards, Enzo, Rodgers. Who else did we have? Hill, James Hill, and Elliot Anderson. Okay. It is saying to start, interestingly saying to start Rodgers and Chris Richards ahead of going with Enzo, Elliot Anderson, and Hill. Now, I don't know if I agree with that, but maybe that's where we go with this team. Maybe. I mean, I guess it's the model will like downplay City because it is a hard fixture and be like, well, he's not expected to get anything out of it. But it's kind of one of those, isn't it? Where do we play Rodgers? Like, he's really fancied by the model this week. So it's kind of one of those. Do I give Rodgers another chance? It is a home fixture. Chelsea do have some key defenders out, and he has been frustrating in the recent weeks. But do I just give him another shot? I don't know. We might have to flip a coin on that one. We might have to, like always, if in doubt, flip a coin. Flip a coin. If in doubt, flip a coin. Yeah, I think I would roll. I think I would roll and get lucky. Start Mbeumo or Keane. I would start Mbeumo. We don't know if Keane's going to 100% play or not. So, yeah. That, for me, is personally where I would go with it. Will Haaland play? I feel yes. I think he will. Yeah, I think he will. Right. Let's move some of these players in. Let's do what the model told me to do. Now I know it said play Richards ahead of Enzo, but I think I would probably go for Enzo. And I probably would have the bench something maybe like that. What do you guys reckon? Something like that for the bench? What do you reckon? You prefer Anderson. I think with Anderson, just it is a nice floor, isn't it, that we could very easily get out of him. But Villa and Chelsea have both been a bit hit and miss in recent weeks, haven't they? They have been a little bit hit and miss. Yeah. Is Rice going to play? The update we got from Arteta was a little bit wishy-washy. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All the models I've checked have Hill over Anderson on the bench. Okay. Any news on Evan Nielsen? Looks unlikely to play. I don't think he's going to recover from his dead leg, is the updates we got. Any news on Fulham players? Anderson is apparently 100% back and ready to play. Wilson, there will be a late decision made tomorrow on him. So yeah, that's the update we've got regarding the Fulham players. So yeah, not the most helpful, but that's what we've got to work with, I guess. Do I reckon Semenyo cap? I would be maybe tempted. I think, yeah, I maybe would be a little bit tempted. I personally probably wouldn't sell Haaland unless we get anything concrete from leakers. Start Hill or Anderson. I probably would go Anderson. Play Hill or Krupi. I think I would play Krupi. Brentford are the leading side for goals conceded to forwards. Play Dubravka or Kelleher. I would probably play Kelleher. Hi, mate. Start 2 out of Rogers, Krupi, Rice, and Hill. I, for me, would probably be tempted to go Rice and Krupi. Yeah, Rice and Krupi probably would be the ones I would probably go for. Palmer for Rice and Ekatike for Haaland, a -4. Is it worth it? Probably not. Sell Haaland or enjoy your 1-pointer off the bench, guys. I guess, but we'll wait and see. Any news on Wilson? There is going to be a late call made on him tomorrow in terms of his fitness. So yeah, I think for me, I've got like in my head, there's a decision to be made. There is a decision to be made, and it's who do I bring in for this week? Like, do I make a transfer or do I just leave it? Because the bench is completely fine and we could very easily get away with maybe leaving it for this week. No worries, Chewy. No worries, mate. But yeah, that is what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to help you out. Any dilemmas you are having, do let me know, and we'll try and help as best as we possibly can. So do keep your questions coming in. Anything that you want to know ahead of the deadline, we'll try and help you as best as I can. I personally wouldn't go anywhere near Saka. Just there's no like obviously the blanking game week 31. There isn't like obviously captaincy either. So yeah, I personally wouldn't go for Saka. Would you do Guita Jimenez to both prepare for 31 and just in case Wilson does not play for a hit? I wouldn't do it for a hit because Raul Jimenez could maybe see reduced minutes over the next few weeks. Like Muniz is back. So yeah. Just leave it and wait for FA Cup info for game week 30. Valid. Yeah, that might be something worth doing. Because that's the thing, right? Is if we do leave it and City go out, we could get Semenyo in for next week. Maybe the right move. I'm either captaining a 1% EO Salah or a 2% and die this week. If you would like a go on the coin, do let me know. And the coin is here. I think the transfer that I probably would make would be Szoboszlai for either Enzo or Anderson. That is the move I probably would make. Other than that, I could, I probably could just roll through. But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in terms of the moves for this week, ladies and gentlemen. It is a case of, do I go with a roll, take 2 into next week, and we move? Or do we go a little bit spicy? Do like a little bit of spice. Yeah, I think that's probably the right play then, isn't it? Is we do save the transfer. Then we can go and get him if he does go out. You're probably right. You are probably right. Yeah. You are probably right. Do I buy Tavernier or KDH? I would rather have Tavernier. Yeah, I'd rather have Tavernier. Rice or Elliot Anderson? I would play Rice. Like, I think he either starts or he just isn't in the squad. So, yeah, I'd play him. I think you trade Enzo for Sobo. It is a tempter. The problem is if I go Enzo for Sobo, I can't afford to go and get Semenyo if City crash out of the FA Cup. That is the only problem I've got in my head. Because if I do this, Enzo for Szoboszlai, like I think I want Semenyo for these games here. I would want him if he's got a fixture in game week 31. So maybe the smart move is just to roll this week. Like Enzo has been pants, but maybe the right players maybe roll. Yeah. If Mane and Esteve are on your bench, do you sell one of them, one of Haaland or Rice? I would probably try and sell Mane. It likes DCL over the next 3 weeks. Yeah, it does like DCL over the next few weeks, and I think personally is a good option as well. Sharda for Rice, Ekatike for Haaland with a -4. Probably not. No, I don't think I would go for that. I don't think I would go for that anyway. Any news on Nico O'Reilly? The exact same update we got in terms of Haaland. They're going to train today and then they'll make a decision on it. Rice out, Semenyo in. I think if you can navigate blank game week 31 at the moment, then yeah, that might be the play. Just noticed the flag's been removed for Anderson. So yeah, there we go. We have just hit 200 likes on today's stream as well, guys. So thank you very much for for that. Really do appreciate it. What's up with Wirtz? He's out for this week. There's doubts around him even playing in the FA Cup. So, yeah, that's where we're at with that one. Is Wilson going to play? There is a late call on Harry Wilson. Start Hill or Munoz. I would personally probably go for Munoz. Free hit week is 31. Free hit week is probably either going to be 33 or 34 more likely. I don't think... I also agree. I don't think Wilson will probably play the full 90. Tavernier is better because he has set piece share and penalties. So yes, I probably would put him above him. I can also see some dodgy results. That's why I'm kind of tempted just to roll. Like in the back of my mind, I want to make a move, right? I do want to make a move because I'm not happy with Rodgers or Enzo. But at the same time, I could see that game just being a bit weird. Every single like midweek round, we get weird results. Let me go and find some midweek rounds. Let me go and find some midweek rounds for you guys. Let's have a look. Right. Where's the last midweek round we had? All right, here we go. So this is round 26, a 2-2 draw between Chelsea and Leeds. What else did we have that was pretty weird? Burnley beating Palace. Brentford drawing to Arsenal. Like, yeah. What other midweek rounds have we got? So we've got round 21. Bournemouth beating Tottenham 3-2. Everton drawing 1-1 with Wolves with 2 red cards. Burnley United 2-2. City Brighton 1-1. Newcastle Leeds 4-3. Like, again, some pretty wild scores in there. Lot of 0-0s one midweek. We had Chelsea drawing to Bournemouth. Arsenal battering Villa. Yeah, some pretty rogue results in there. And you do get them in these midweek ones. You do get some weird results in there as well. Who is the more priority sell, Wirtz or Rodgers? Wirtz, he's injured. Always sell off your injured players before you start moving on, like, and going luxury moves. I know Morgan Rodgers has been dog, like absolute pudding, hasn't he? He really has just been crap, and his underlying numbers have been crap. But I'm playing him in the West Ham game. I don't care. I'm playing him in the West Ham game. What did he do against Chelsea earlier in the season? A 1-pointer. Great. But a 15-pointer against United. West Ham was also a 15-pointer. So, yeah, that's what we've got to work with at the moment. What did Enzo do against Villa earlier in the season? Again, another player who's just been a crab. A crusty crab over the past few weeks. A 1-pointer. We realistically could probably be looking at 2 1-pointers this week. There we go. Start Rayan or Rodgers? I probably would go Rayan. Should I do Ekatike and Dango in for João Pedro and Rice for a -4, or just take Slobsly or Dango? I personally would probably just do the one move. I don't think the João Pedro one is worth the -4 in my opinion. Rice, they're going to make a decision tomorrow on him and whether or not he will play. If they have safe minutes, you always get a good extra transfer. Yeah, true. And I guess I've kind of got the bar, maybe like Semenyo, I probably got the most desirable option in Ekatike and Thiago. Like, they're obviously some of the most transferred in players, Ekatike, Thiago, Virgil. We've already got them. Should I start Enzo or Gardner? I probably would go with Gardner. Yeah. One long shot is all it takes. I don't know why I bought him. He's probably one of the, like, I knew I was slandering him for months, and I was going, look, the returns are just fluky. Doesn't have set pieces, doesn't hit DEFCON, doesn't have penalties. Why would I pay 7 point at the time, like 7.5, 7.6? And then I was like, oh, but these fixtures coming up are really good. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a -4 to get him in. Just an absolute idiot move. Yeah, an absolute idiot move. Maguire's wasn't down to an injury. It was down to sickness, which is something that is going around Premier League camps at the moment. So yeah, Captain Bruno or Ekatike. I'd rather go for the Bruno cap than the Ekatike cap for me personally. But that's just how I sit on it. Obviously, keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to ask me ahead of the deadline, do let me know. We'll try and answer as many questions as we possibly can. In terms of updates, we've had Anderson is 100%. Wilson, there will be a decision made tomorrow. Haaland and Nico Riley, a decision will be made after training. And Rice, a decision will be made tomorrow on that one as well. I probably would go Tavernier just because of the penalties. I really like both Tavernier and Sobo for the next 3. If I had to pick, I maybe would just edge on the penalty taker. I would play Sanchez ahead of the Bergen this week. I don't think I would do it for a hit, no. Take a hit to get Semenyo? No, probably not. Yeah, he's been living on a prayer, hasn't he? He needs to turn up this week. He really does need to turn up this week. I mean, watch all my defenders actually come away with returns. I might this might sound crazy, but Hill and Richards might also be very viable players to potentially select in there. Like all the guys on my defense could come away with all the guys on my bench, sorry, could come away with 4. They very easily could. They very easily could. I think Rice is one of those where you could take him out because he blanks in game week 31. So it is very easy to get rid of him this week. Soboslai or Dango, probably would go Sobo. Tavernier or Iwobi or keep Rice. I think you could keep Rice, but Iwobi and Tavernier could be great explosive options. And I think I probably would, if I had Rice, I probably would be tempted to maybe boot him on this week. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Just joined your live now. Hello, Tom. Waiting to see you on the fantasy preview show when you go big. Bro, we can dream. We can dream one day. We can dream one day, I guess. Akatike and Semenyo in for Haaland and Rice. I don't think I would do it. I really don't think I would do it. Is Verts back for the Spurs game? Touch and go. They think he might be back for the FA Cup game, and if he is, that's fine. But after that, there's still a little bit touch and go on Verts. I mean, if that's what your models are saying and you trust your own models, then go for it. Like, I'm never ever going to tell someone if you've got like a model going and your model suggests doing that you should probably get rid of them. I'm never ever going to suggest that. Sobo or Rice and Dye or Zubamendi. I mean, I would rather have Sobo and Dye, but obviously it depends if you're taking minuses for that and all that jazz. Today's stream has absolutely flown by the way. absolutely rapid. Usually, like, there's like a little bit of a lull period where I'm just like a little bit tired and I'll just be like, I can't be asked. Because I've answered the same question about 400 times. But today, oh man, I've really enjoyed it. I have really enjoyed it. Genuinely, it's been good fun. Do I think Wirtz will be back for the Spurs game? I don't know. Like, he's definitely out this midweek. There's a late call going to be made for the FA Cup game, you imagine. So maybe the Spurs game is too quick, but he could be very easily back. I think if I had him, I probably would be tempted to sell him, though, to another Liverpool player. Probably Szoboszlai ahead of Dango Otara for me over the next few. Yeah, that's probably where I'd go on that one. And Dye or Rodgers, I would rather have him die this week. So yeah. Newcomers, get Tom to 30k right now. We can dream, bro. We can dream. If you are enjoying this dream, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are hitting like. Make sure you're hitting subscribe. It is really all appreciated. The goal is 30k by the end of the year. Let's see if we can get there. News, obviously, Anderson is 100% ready to go, whatever that means. Wilson is, there'll be a decision made tomorrow. Haaland and Nico Riley, a decision will be made after training today. Rice, again, the decision will be made tomorrow. So, unfortunately, the press conferences weren't that helpful. Like, they could have been a lot more helpful. We could have definitely got some better news out of them, but that's all we're working with. So, yeah, that's unfortunately the position we're in. Would you move Wirtz to Sobo or Sharda? Yeah, I think I would. I think both will probably play unless there is something that comes out. Yeah, I think both will play. Also, for people asking about David Raya, I know we had a potential issue with him. Apparently, he and Max Doman are both good to go. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully, that clears everything up for people. What to do with Wirtz? He's out this week, so I probably would get rid of him. The Bergen or Dubravka, I'd be more tempted to play Dubravka, I think. Start Saw or Rodgers. I'd be actually more tempted to go with Saw on that one. Ow. Semenyo in for Rice. I don't mind it as long as you've got an option to like bench him and that. I thought I muted my mic then. Armband to Salah. I think if I had him, I would be tempted to maybe go with it. I think you can go a little bit different this week. Looking at the poll, what results have we got so far? So 44% of you are still going for Mohamed Salah. So still a lot on Mohamed Salah this week. Should we do another poll? Let's do another poll. Let's do you think Haaland will start? Do you... There we go. We've got a new poll up. Do you think Haaland starts? Yes or no? Get your votes in for that one, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting to see where the chat goes with that one. Obviously, I think with a lot of people captaining him, probably makes up their mind. But yeah, I'm interested to see what people vote for on that one. Lafitte over Enzo Fernandez. I actually probably would, you know. Just for the penalty appeal, I would. Enzo and Rodgers out for Semenyo and Dango for a -4. I probably wouldn't do that. Benching headache, start 2 of the following: Muniz, Tarkowski, Stack, Hill. I personally would probably go with Tark and either Muniz or Stack, probably for me. What's my game week 30 plan with 2 free transfers? I guess it depends what happens with Manchester City, right? Otherwise, we probably could just roll through again in game week 31, roll again, and then take We could either do like a mini wild card to target the doublers in 33, save my wild card, then wild card game week 35. It's a possibility. If we get doubles in 36, I could be fully stacked for them and ready for them. Just an idea. Just an idea. Hi mate, what do you think about Enzo out for Dango or Tavernier? I mean, Enzo could be just a fine player to keep this week. But I do like the options you have suggesting. I probably would lean more towards Tavernier if I was. Rice to Iwobi. Yeah, Iwobi could be a nice differential shout this week. He's been doing good, playing against some sides that are very vulnerable to centre midfielders as well. So it could be a decent option. What do I think about Calvert-Lewin? Yeah, I like Calvert-Lewin. I do like Calvert-Lewin. Coin flip for Sobo or Dango. Yeah, we can do some coin flips. Heads is going to be Sobo. Tails is going to be Dango, okay? Heads it is. Heads it is. Do I think Anderson starts? Yeah, I do. By Semenyo or Mbuemo. Right now, I probably would lean more towards Mbuemo, just because the Real Madrid fixture is sandwiched in between game week 30 for West Ham, and obviously there isn't a fixture currently for Manchester City in game week 31. I personally wouldn't look at Szoboszlai as a captain. I think there are better options, and he's going to get enough points where it makes him a decent enough pick without giving him the armband for this week. So I don't think you need to go that mental with it. Bench one of Rayan, Dango, or Mbuemo. I probably would be looking at the first two names for me personally. Yes, I have one free transfer left. What do I think about triple Brentford? I mean, I don't mind it. The fixtures are definitely there, but I feel like you've lost probably one of the best fixtures where they absolutely smashed it. Rodon is apparently fit and fine to go for this week, so if you need him, he can be an option. Start Krupi or Hill. I probably would go Krupi with Evan Nielsen looking likely to be out. Obviously, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Brentford, have conceded the most goal involvements to strikers, so it does make him as well. Best captain, Haaland. I still think just because it looks like from the poll, a lot of people are still going to go with Haaland for captaincy this week. So I personally would still be looking at Haaland captain. Just make sure you have a good vice lined up. Start Chalobah or Rodon. I'd be tempted to go Rodon on that one. Start Senesi or Enzo. I would probably go with maybe Senesi. Am I benching Rodgers? As you can see, no. I probably would sell Florian Wirtz. He's not going to play this week. They still don't know if he's going to be available for the FA Cup game at the weekend, so might play just reduced minutes in game week 30. Start Haaland and Wilson or Dango and Calvert-Lewin. I mean, I would start Haaland and Wilson still, but those other options are great people I would want to be playing this week as well. Coin flip for Krupi or Hill. Yep. Heads is going to be Hill. Tails is going to be Krupi, okay? Heads, Hill. There you go. I think Haaland plays or he doesn't play at all. I really do. Yeah, that's kind of how I lean on that one. I genuinely think he either starts the game and plays or he doesn't do anything at all. As long as he gets a consolation hat trick. O'Reilly, a decision will be made tomorrow on him after training. Today, after training. Hill or Chalobah. I mean, the model would say Chalobah, but I probably would be tempted more to go with Hill. Coin flip, Emi Martinez or Darlow. Heads is going to be Emi Martinez. Tails is going to be Darlow. Tails, Darlow. Bench Anderson or Krupi. I mean, if you're uncertain about Anderson being 100% fully back and going to be selected straight within the side, then he probably is the one you bench, right? realistically, he's probably the one you bench. Start Dubravka or Sanchez. I probably still would go with Sanchez on that one. Rogers or Rayan. All right. Heads is going to be Rogers. Tails is going to be Rayan, okay? Tails, Rayan. Whoa. I'd rather bench Rogers than Dango probably this week. Start Rodon or Alderente. I'd back the home team and probably go with Rodon. Yeah. Tom, do I sell Rice to Sharda for a punt? I don't mind it. But let's wait and see. Yeah, I mean, that's the update we've got from Daniel Falk, so I probably would give it. In your opinion, what's the best formation? It depends what players you've got with your team. It really, really does. I don't think there's obviously formations you probably don't go for, but there's also formations that, like, I think any formation you can definitely make viable. Mm. Should I sell Gabriel to Virgil? Probably not. Still some like the next 2 weeks, Arsenal still are a very good side for projected clean sheets. So, yeah, probably wouldn't do that. Rice, a decision will be made tomorrow. Unfortunately, Arteta was about as much use as a chocolate teapot. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that one. I mean, I'm just looking again at my model's projections here. Rogers is on 5, so I think that's fine. We probably give him. But then Chris Richards, Enzo, Elliot Anderson, and even James Hill. There's 0.6 points between the pair of, like, all of them. Yeah. I mean, we're saying all this, and then, like, Wilson and Haaland definitely don't play, and we end up with, more points on the bench and all that. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know, of course, make sure you are hitting that like button as well. It does push the stream out to more people, and that is exactly what we want with today's stream. Anderson, apparently he is 100% fit. That's all we've got for you for Marco Silva. That's all we've got for you. Enzo to Wilson or risky? I think that's a little bit too risky, especially after, there's going to be an assessment made on Wilson tomorrow. Very easily could miss out on the game. So I personally probably wouldn't do it. DCL or Raul Jimenez, I think both have got great fixtures. I think for minute security, I probably would prefer to have DCL. Benjamin Sesko, I don't mind. He could be a very, very fun pick over the next few weeks. Yeah, he really could. He's obviously in a decent purple patch at the moment. Could be a nice pick, but I personally probably wouldn't go there. Best free hit team. I probably would take a gamble on some Fulham players. Like Wilson probably would end up in there. I definitely have probably the front three that I've got as well. I probably would gamble on Haaland. I probably would maybe potentially, if you really wanted to look at a free hit that didn't have Haaland in, you could look at Salah, Szoboszlai, Verge, Ekatike as like a front three. Iwobi, Wilson, Anderson, Semenyo, Bruno, and Dye, Tarkowski, Pickford, all players I probably would be considering that for that one. Start one of Haaland or Wilson. I would probably start Haaland just for effective ownership reasons. I mean, if you can set your wild card up, but obviously we get a lot of information regarding doubles and blanks after this round of FA Cup at the weekend. So yeah, maybe not. Rice replacements. It is going to be, if you haven't already, Bruno and Buemo. If you can get those guys in, that would be great. You could also potentially take a look at who else could you take a look at? I don't know. Some other options could also be in there. Yeah. My mind has completely gone blank. Dango, Wilson, if you fancy it, but it's a big gamble. Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Iwobi, Stack, who's absolutely loved and adored by my model. Yeah, those would be potential picks you could maybe look at. Rice to Wilson or Dango. I mean, with Wilson, like we don't know if he's going to play. I personally would probably maybe just stick with Rice in that scenario. Let's put in Enzo. How much budget have I got if I sell Enzo? How much have we got? We've got 8.6. Can I afford? I can't afford Mbuemo. No, I'm priced out. Priced out by 0.1 is painful, you know. So I've got 8.6. What is my model suggesting in terms of a transfer? I mean, it is just all players we've kind of spoke about already, isn't it, really? I think it is just waiting and seeing if Semenyo actually plays. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Rodgers necessarily looks good, but yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Who am I captaining? I've got it on Haaland. Haaland is my captain for this week. If in doubt, roll. That's all I'm saying to myself. If in doubt, roll. And I think it is probably the right play, right? If in doubt, just roll the transfer. Take 2 into next week, and then we can really have a little bit more of a gamble at things. Is Haaland to Ekitike good? I personally probably wouldn't go for it, but I understand why people are looking at it. But for me personally, I probably wouldn't look at it. Unless some concrete news comes out about about Haaland being out, then I personally wouldn't go for it. I guess though, if you are considering selling Haaland, it could be a viable strategy. That would be the only thing I would consider. Hi mate, I've got 2 free transfers. Would you sell Rice and Obi to Ekitike, Gravenberch, and Dango? Ooh, I probably would. Yeah, I probably would. I probably would do that. I like the moves you've lined up there. I think they're a good set of moves. Would you sub Haaland and what's that? Would you sub Haaland and would you sub Rodon or Elliot Anderson first sub? Probably would go Rodon. Sell Rice or Verts? Pedro to Ekatike. I have no idea what's going on. Best replacement for Rodgers. I have 3.5 million in the bank. I don't know if I'd necessarily be selling him though. That's the thing. I think if you want to sell him, it is looking at like Brian and Buemo, Semenyo. They're probably going to be the options. Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. That's realistically where you would be going. Is making transfers 3 hours before the deadline ideal? It isn't. It's not what I personally would be looking at either. Yeah. I personally probably wouldn't go for it. Again, we might get some late information about Haaland, like training might have finished for City, and then you can make a better decision off the basis of that. I'd probably give Rice the nod. Like, I think genuinely he is going to be either in the squad or he's not going to be in the squad at all. Why is everyone looking to sell Rice? I think there's just an opportunity, isn't there, really? Obviously, no fixture in 31 does make him a bit more of a sellable asset, really. Have DCL, Hill, Struick currently on my bench. Do I just bench boost? Already wildcard in my team is less likely to have lots of doubles in 33 than others, so we'll free hit that week. Okay, then I guess if you can deal with 34, that would be fine. Is making transfers an hour after the deadline ideal? I mean, you're not even going to get anything done there, are you? Is Wilson playing? There is going to be a late fitness call on him tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Rice or Rodgers, who to start? I'd still probably go with Rice. Yeah, probably would still go with Rice. And Buemo, Dango, or Thiago, which one to bench? I would probably bench Dango there. I would rather start Stack. I genuinely would. If I had Stack available, I would rather play him this week. I mean, Captain and Die could be quite fun. It could be quite fun. Let's have a let me have a look at the Burnley areas where they concede. I believe it's more right wingers than left wingers, but I can't remember where Ndai's playing at the moment. Is he on the left? I feel like he's playing on the left more at the moment, isn't he? I mean, either wing is very good, to be honest. Any wingers is probably going to have a lot of joy against Burnley today. So left wingers is 5th for goal involvements in the league, and right wingers is 2nd for goal involvements in the league. So yeah, whichever option you really go for there, to be honest. Yeah, wherever Ndai ends up playing, it could be a real feast session. So if you are fancying it, maybe. Gravenberch or Szoboszlai. Wolves, interestingly, have conceded the most goal involvements to centre midfielders. However, they're also 4th for cams, and I think it's kind of where do you want to weigh up in terms of your play style. I'd say Szoboszlai is probably the more attacking pick, has set piece share, probably more likely to get a goal involvement. However, Gravenberch is Liverpool's leading player for points per game and also can hit defensive contribution. So it's kind of, do you want to play it a little bit more defensively with Defcon, or do you want to play it more, I'm going to go for the attacking kind of pick? That's how I would see it, comparing the two of them. Oh, yeah. I mean, his position, he's got a lot more further forward, more set piece share. Defensive contributions also help as well. So, yeah, that's why it's probably made him a better option. I genuinely think if I had Dango, I probably would start him ahead of Rodgers this week. Yeah. Thiago to Ekatike. Again, I probably don't think I would do that. Yeah, I don't think I would do that. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline, do get them in. We're closing in on 250 likes on today's stream already. So if you are enjoying the content, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. We're very, very close to hitting 27.2k subscribers as well on the channel. So yeah, make sure you are, like I said, hitting that subscribe button. It really is appreciated on the channel. Any news on Wilson? There is going to be a late call made tomorrow about Wilson. Keep Palmer or hold him. I mean, that's the same thing, but I probably would. Again, unless I'm looking at maybe an Embuemo, I probably would just keep him. Plans for Haaland and Wilson. Going to play, going to captain Haaland. That is my plans. That is my plans currently. Why consider Szoboszlai? Playing in the 10 up against a lot of opponents that do concede a lot of goal involvements, 2 10s. So yeah, that would probably be why I would maybe be focusing on that. Captain Ekatike or Saka? I probably would go with Ekatike ahead of Saka on that one. Pedro or Hill first bench? Hill. Or are you asking me which one would I rather have on the first bench? I probably would run Pedro in the lineup at some point, but yeah, probably would bench him if not. Yeah, I think it genuinely could be a week where if you do want to take on Erling Haaland, there is that possibility and there is that scope to look at it as a potential option this week. I think maybe if you narrow down yourself a strategy, that might help in terms of what you want to then do. Because otherwise, you're kind of just aimlessly going about things, aren't you? I guess maybe Semenyo would be the last one I'd want in there. That's probably the last one. Yeah, we still have Rodgers. He's been here for a few weeks and has blanked every single week. But we're sticking with him. We're sticking with him. Yeah, apparently Rodon is going to play. I probably would go with him. I guess. I mean, also the introduction of defensive contributions has also made him a very, very interesting option, hasn't it? Really. Is it worth a hit, Raul, for Thiago? No. What's your general thoughts on Enzo? He just is a bit of a wet lettuce, isn't he? But it's kind of one of those where I think maybe gaining the information next week could be more beneficial. That's kind of why I'm potentially going to roll, is because I think the information we could get could lead us into a place where we are then, we can then make a move for Semenyo next week. If, of course, City go out to Newcastle, it then means that fixture could go back into game week 31. Then Semenyo is a fine pick for the next few weeks. But I don't know. I'm still umming and ahhing. Still umming and ahhing. I think it might go down to a coin flip. I genuinely think it might do. Szoboszlai or Enzo on the coin flip. Yeah. That's genuinely what it might come down to. It might all be on a coin flip. I mean, if we're speaking to FPL Marcello, who's a very good guy to follow on socials as well, he every week we go, he literally just replies to me going, Gravenberch, Gravenberch, Gravenberch. And then we don't go Gravenberch. But yeah. Patience is probably the right play, right? It is probably the right play. Is to just be patient, sit on my hands, go with a less optimal team for this week and play through it. I'm holding Rodgers just purely for game week 31. That is genuinely the only reason I'm holding Rodgers right now. But yeah, that is kind of where my head is at. I'm not going for a Wobie, don't worry. A Wobie's not the one I'm looking at. It is going to be Dominic Szoboszlai. Back again, the old mistress Dominic Szoboszlai whipping us back in after selling him a few weeks ago for Rodgers. Yes, your comment is visible, mate. We are just getting round to every question. I'll try and answer as many questions as we can. No need to be a dick, but yeah. Why not a Wobie? Yeah, it could be, but it's kind of one of those, isn't it, where he has just hit 2 big double-digit hauls, and he's playing against some sides that are very weak to centre midfielders. But it does just feel a bit, I don't know, bit of a trap. And Buemo to Ekatike, I mean, that isn't even possible, but yeah, sure. Sobo is the guy. FPL Morgs is in the chat as well. If you don't already, make sure you're going and checking out FPL Morgs' channel. Some great stuff over on there. I think we're going to do a coin flip on it. We're going to do a coin flip. Enzo Fernandez or Dominic Szoboszlai. I think that is the play. All right. Tails is going to be Enzo. Heads is going to be Dominic Szoboszlai. All right. The coin will decide our fate. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the coin is going to decide our fate. It's landed on tails. We trust the coin. We trust the process. We sit on our hands. And we don't make a move. There you go. The coin has spoken. We're trusting it. It absolutely smashed it, by the way, last week. It told us to bring in Wilson. Told us to get what's it called as well? It told us to go Bruno captain, and I ignored it. Still ended up with Bruno captain. You are not considering Mbuemo. I can't afford Mbuemo anymore. So Enzo to Mbuemo, I can't afford. Yeah. João Pedro to Ekitike or Munoz to VVD. Or Enzo to Ndai. I do like the Enzo to Ndai one. I really do like it. I would personally, though, I think VVD is probably going to be one of the biggest risks to your rank, so I probably would go with that one. I'd rather bench Rodgers ahead of Dango this week. Should I bring in O'Reilly for a hit? Definitely not with him, a late fitness call being made on him. Yeah, definitely not. So yeah, there we have it, guys. The coin has spoken and has selected sticking with Enzo and not bothering looking. Yeah. Start Elliot Anderson or Hill. I probably would go Elliot Anderson on that one. Should I start O'Reilly if not Krupi, Goodmanson? I'd personally start O'Reilly. Yeah. Is Haaland starting? There's going to be a call made on his fitness after today's training session. Spurs are definitely a team you want to be looking to target as well. I'm thinking about bumping maybe Richards up in terms of the bench order. I am thinking about moving him up. He got his DEFCON took off him last week, but yeah, he could be one that really does the business. Although Bournemouth are pretty good at home, like that's another decision to be made. That is another decision to be made. I think I'd probably go like that though. What do you reckon? That? I reckon maybe something like that. Mate, we've already had Dominic Szoboszlai this season, and yeah, he broke my heart, made my heart, but broke it at the same time. He's been in, he's had his stint in the side. We can't. The coin's spoken. The coin has spoken, mate. I mean, that could be a great bench boost, to be honest. It really could. Spurs are worse at home than they are away. I think Bournemouth are like third at home for XGC. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think they are. Would you sell Palmer for Salah or Mbeumo? I probably would be tempted to, yeah. It's a luxury move, but I think I could be tempted with that. The coin is always correct. People that have been on the channel for a long time know about the coin, and it's just mystic abilities sometimes. Pedro to Ekatike, again, does feel like quite a luxury move if you are going to make it this week. I don't think it's necessarily a bad fixture for... what's it called? I can't even speak. I don't think it's a bad fixture for João Pedro. I'm just bringing up the home versus away form. Let's have a look at this. Right. Villa, interestingly, have only won one of their last 4 games at home. But they've only conceded 11. Chelsea on the road, interestingly, have lost their last 1. But then they've only lost 3 of their last 5 on the road. And have scored 26 on the road. But they've also conceded 17. So I could potentially see a lot of goals happening in that game. Tom, has anyone mentioned you look like a young Gene Wilder? Mate, if you saw the tweet yesterday that I put out, literally, like, I think it's 3 times I've been called Gene Wilder. We have Mr. Beast. Like, I don't think there's like a lookalike we haven't had yet. I really don't think there is. Yeah, I think everybody's saying it. Pay the respect it deserves. The holy coin knows. It does just know. Yeah, it does just know. So yeah, any other lookalikes? I think we've had Vitinha as well. Yeah, Vitinha has been another one we've had. But any other lookalikes, do let me know. And yeah. Is Rice to Wilson for a -4 worth the risk? No. Any news on Haaland or Wilson? Haaland, there'll be a decision made after training today. Wilson, there'll be a decision made tomorrow. So nothing helpful in terms of us. We've had a super chat. Thank you very much. He says, hello, mate. Keep up the good stuff. Saw or Dango? Oh, now, I probably would go Dango just because Bournemouth are pretty leaky from right wingers. Let me go and have a quick delve at the stats and compare the two. But I'm pretty sure... Let's have a look. Bournemouth, where are they in terms of right wingers? FPL Jimmy. Who is FPL Jimmy? Is that who you're saying I look alike? Right, Bournemouth are currently 5th for goal involvements to right wingers. Spurs, where are Spurs? Spurs are 15th to goal involvements conceded from right wingers. So, yeah, I probably would still be tempted to go with Dango, but I mean, Spurs are genuinely awful, aren't they? They are really bad. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very crazy midweek round. Jeremy Allen White, probably a closer look like. Who the hell is Jeremy Allen White is my next question. Let's have a look. Jeremy Allen White. I mean, I will take that. I will take that every day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on, we can get... is Van der Ven a good pick? I think probably not. No, he's not. Jeremy Allen White is the lookalike we've had now. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that every day of the week. Sharda or Rogers this week? I probably would go with Sharda. No worries, mate. Hope you're doing good, Billy. What should I do with Rice? I think you could either keep him, but there is definitely... This could be a week to easily sell off Declan Rice, to be honest. Because, like I said, there obviously the blanking game week 31 does give you a reason to potentially sell him. There's some nice, desirable midfielders with decent fixtures this week as well, and over the next few weeks. So I think, yeah, there is a reason you could sell Rice. Oh dear. Rice to Mbeumo, Iwobi, or Gravenberch. I probably would look at Mbeumo probably as the standout pick there for me. I do like Iwobi and Gravenberch, but I think Mbeumo probably would be the one I would select. Bruno, Mbeumo, Semenyo, Wilson, Palmer, Pedro, Thiago, or Ek. Who to bench? Or probably between João Pedro, maybe Palmer. They're going to be the ones. Yeah, they're going to be the ones. Will Rice start this game week? There will be an update tomorrow regarding Rice and his potential situation. So, unfortunately, not helpful for us as it will be post-deadline. Hill or Richards? I genuinely think it is very close, and I would be tempted to maybe go with Richards ahead of Hill, but honestly, very close. I think my model's got him at like 0.2 difference. It's very, very close. Very close. Favorite cheap midfielder besides Wilson? Stack, Tavernier, Iwobi. All very good shouts within the cheap midfielder bracket. Dango could also be a shout if you want to look at him as well. Yeah, there's some of the ones you want to look at. Will Barry start this game week? I think he starts. I think he leads the line. Yeah. Thiago, Cap, probably not for me. I think there are better options to go for this week. But yeah, Haaland, the update we got is he will train today, and we will find out after the training if he's going to be good to go or whatever. So yeah, it might be one of those with Haaland that we have to wait for a later update. Why am I not vicing Ekatike? Good question. We're going with Bruno Fernandes, as Newcastle recently have been really poor. They've lost 3 of the last home games. They've conceded the 3rd most goals at home as well this season. And I know Bruno Fernandes is going to play, right? Ekatike, I think he will start. Right, don't get me wrong. He will probably start. But there's something in the back of my mind that goes, maybe another early substitution, maybe a blank, because everybody's brought him in this week, and that is the most Ekatike thing he could do. He's literally the biggest troll going in the world, is Ekatike. He really is. I wouldn't start Stack ahead of Haaland, no. I have Sharda over Dango. That is also perfectly fine and acceptable thing to do. Like, I'm not going to go, oh, that's a poor decision. They're both great captaincy, both great picks. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline? Of course, we are live. We are here. We're happy to help you answer any questions. that you may have ahead of the deadline. Update on Haaland is there will be a call later after training to decide it. Tom, you look like my cousin Isaac. Very helpful info, I know. Thank you for that one, Michael Stakes. Really appreciated. You can tell your cousin that he looks like a relatively mid-sized FPL YouTuber. I'm sure that'll make his day. Didn't Shorter score a hat-trick against Bournemouth earlier in the season? We will go and have a look. Update on Wilson is again, there'll be a decision made on him tomorrow. Kevin Shorter did score a hat-trick against Brentford in the reverse. Thiago came away with an assist, and Dango didn't even play. There you go, sports fans. I have Enzo and Anderson on the Fulham bench. Who would you start, Rodgers, or sell Enzo for one of the cheap mids and bench Rodgers? I think, again, if you're in a position like me, I'm waiting for a little bit more information because I don't have Semenyo. And if City aren't blanking in game week 31, he would be a player that I would really like. So, yeah, it's probably where I would go on that one. Let's have a look what happened the last time they went to the... Let's have a look what happened the last time they went to the Vitality. They won. Visser and Norgard with the goals. Mbuemo with an assist. Okay. Before that, Visser 2 goals. There's always goals in this game, by the way. Genuinely, always goals. The last 0-0 was in October 2022. Yeah. I did Semenyo in for Rice. I think that is perfectly fine. Yeah. Bless me. I don't think personally Haaland is a sell. Yeah, I don't think Haaland is a sell. Oh. Will you transfer out Rice for Ndai or McAllister and Krupi out for a -4? I think you could leave Krupi this week. It looks like Evan Nielsen's not going to play, so I think he will probably start. And as well, Brentford are the leading sides for goals conceded to forward. So I think if I had Krupi this week, he could be a good option. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Just spent the last half an hour designing my dissertation proposal PowerPoint rather than doing actual work. But at least it's now pretty colours. Abby, that is the main thing. Colours sell. You know, words only get you so far. You know, they're going to be fed up of looking at the same boring presentations. Spice it up a bit. Spice it up a little bit. Is Virgil a good vice? I mean, he's okay, but I think for me personally, the top vice is Bruno Fernandes. Rice or Cunha, who would you sell? I'd always try and get rid of potentially injured players first, and that would be Declan Rice. Also blanks in game week 31, so I probably would still go more towards Rice. Who do you reckon is the most likely to come on for a 1-pointer? Wilson. Yeah, probably Wilson is the one that is most likely. I don't really like the Mbuemo captaincy one. I know Newcastle are poor, but I think they're 18th for goal involvements conceded to right wingers this season. So it does seem like a position that they've kind of got on lock a little bit. So yeah, I don't think personally I would go for it. Number one chance of going big this week. I think it could be Ndai, maybe like a Gravenberch or a Szoboszlai. They're going to be the rogue shouts that I think maybe could go a bit big this week. Cool. Yeah, I've seen there's been a few questions in the Discord and team reviews. Questions, I will be wrapping up in about 20 minutes, so I'll be popping over to the Discord. Team reviews, I will do some now, so let's head over to there. Of course, if you do want to come and join the FPL Cartel Discord, I will leave a link in the description for it, but let me put the link in there if you want to come and chat to me after today's stream. If Haaland doesn't play, you reckon would be a better vice? I do like Semenyo as the vice. I really do like it. I think Semenyo could be a very, very good option this week. Even if he plays on the right, could be a fantastic option. I think that is Forest's most vulnerable position, or right back. So that again, it seems like they've got an issue on that right hand side. I do like Bruno Fernandes as the vice though. Like he for me is the golden option. One free transfer. I would personally roll that. I think you've got Krupi, Hill, very fine options to come in if you really need to. If you really wanted to make a move, I'm probably struggling. I do think I probably am struggling a little bit. I think I probably would roll. I think I would roll, and I'm happy that with Semenyo as vice, I am happy with that. I think that's a fine option. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know. Obviously, we'll be wrapping up around about 4 o'clock. Then we'll let all the big boys go and do their thing as they usually do. Your Andes, your Raptors, you know the drill. Start Petrovic or Roofs. I heard rumors that Roofs is out, so I would probably go with him. And if he doesn't play, then Petrovic comes in, and that's fine. I have Palmer and Pedro still in. Who should I sell? I mean, Pedro to Ekatike could be an option that you want to look for, and it probably is going to be a very high upsidey kind of thing with obviously the effective ownership, so probably Pedro. But at the same time, I think Palmer is a bit of a fraud. So, yeah. I use a website called XG Stats. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but yeah. Lewis Miley to stack. Yeah, that could be a decent shout. If you need that player, like it is a very luxury move, but if you need the player, yeah. It was something mentioned yesterday. I saw it on socials. I haven't seen any more on it, but yeah, it was something mentioned yesterday. Yeah, I do think Ndai could go very big this week. Yeah. But this is the thing, I don't mind having João Pedro. I think you just said it there. Yeah, I don't mind having João Pedro either. No worries, bud. Still thinking to keep Enzo. Yep, we did the coin flip. We're going to keep him. We're going to wait for more information. And then we're going to make our decision off the back of that. All right? That is what we're going to do. Because we might be in a situation where we get a bit of news later on that Haaland didn't go through training okay. He looks, like he's a doubt for the week. Yeah, I like my chat. My chat is very good and very positive. We've got a lot of top moderators as well. Yeah, some great guys. I probably would want neither. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I am always open to sponsorship deals. So if anybody wants to reach out to XG Stat or wants to let them know that I'd be open to some work, that would be appreciated. But obviously, whatever. I think it's a good website and I enjoy using it. Tavernier or Rayan, let's go. Tavernier. Best replacement for Rice would probably be Mbuemo, Bruno if you haven't got him, a Szoboszlai, maybe a punt on like a Gravenberch potentially, a Dango, a Sharda, and a Wobie. Those would be the guys that I would be looking at. Cheers, Jamie. Love you lots. Would you start Dewsbury Hall over Wilson? No, I'd still start Wilson. For me. We are closing in on 300 likes. So if you haven't already today, make sure you are hitting that like button. It is really, really appreciated. We're on 293. Let's see if we can get it up to 300 before we wrap up today. I think I'll have to go and check the analytics in the back. But I think this might be the most concurrent live viewers we've ever had on a stream, which would be insane, by the way. So thank you very much, genuinely, for your continued support. It really does mean the world to me. And like I said, every day I wake up grateful for, this platform that we've managed to build here. I know it's not the biggest, but I'm still very grateful for it. And I'm very grateful for everybody that hits subscribe, like, all that good jazz. You're the best. We have just smashed through that 300 like barrier as well. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. And I can see some spam in the chat. Let's get that out of there. Please don't spam, guys. Or, of course, you will just be put in a timeout. All right. Start one, Enzo, Rogers, Senesi. I probably would do Senesi. I genuinely think I would. Any news on Haaland or Wilson? Haaland, we're going to have to wait for an update in terms of training today. Wilson, a decision will be made tomorrow. I'd rather go for Mbuemo ahead of Szoboszlai. Start two, Rayan, Dango, Wilson. I probably would go Wilson, probably Dango, given the goal involvements conceded to right wingers for Bournemouth. So yeah, that's probably where I'd go on that one. That is probably where I would go on that one. It's all good, man. I timed him out. He's gone now. He's gone now. I personally would probably bench Pedro. Yeah, probably Pedro. Best Brentford mid, Damsgaard worth a punt. I mean, he has set piece share, got his big double-digit mega haul. I personally, for me, looking at the goals conceded, would rather go for another option. News on O'Reilly, a decision is going to be made later on him. Exact same situation with Haaland. Haha. Cheers, bro. My voice is gonna give way. I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. Yeah. I don't think my voice can handle it, and also my bladder can't handle it. But yeah. Appreciate it though, man. Have you decided who you're gonna go for? I'm interested to know who you've decided to go for. I wouldn't personally bench boost with that. No, I wouldn't personally bench boost with that. Am I captaining Haaland for sure? Yes. Unless, obviously, we get any sort of late news regarding Haaland, regarding his potential fitness ahead of this weekend. This is the team. We did a coin flip earlier to decide Enzo or we move for Szoboszlai. It ended up on Enzo, so we're going to go for it. I will probably roll. Mate, we know for a fact now, Gravenberch is just going to be laughing at us with a double-digit haul. It's just going to happen, isn't it? It's just going to happen. Start Wilson or Sharda. I probably would go Wilson still. Start Krupi or Rice. I'd actually be tempted to go with Krupi, given the fact that Brentford have conceded the most goal involvements to strikers. Haaland to Ekitike or Rice to Mbuemo will probably roll, though. I would prefer the Rice to Mbuemo one. I think that could be a good move. But yeah, I think the roll probably looks sensible. And it gives us more information, doesn't it, to make better decisions. But if you want to go on the coin, you can ask the coin. Can we ask the coin to do Rice to Tavernier? What are you asking it? Just curious, Tom, what's your current rank? We are 100 and something. 80, I want to say. Maybe. I can't remember where I'm at. 191 is where we're at. We were at 56k in game week 20. Had a lot of bad luck, poor decisions, and ended up at 280. Then got a big, nice, juicy green last week. So that helps. Hopefully we can get another one this week. Top 100k is the aim for this season. Roll or do the move Rice to Tavernier. Okay. Roll is going to be tails. Heads is going to be Rice to Tavernier, okay? Roll it is. Roll it is, my friend. Can you ask the coin if I should get back with my ex? You know what? Let's go for it. Tails is no. Heads is yes. Tails. Not happening, sunshine. Stay out of her DMs. Got it? O'Reilly to VVD. I don't actually mind that one. Of course, O'Reilly's still a doubt. We maybe might get a bit of news closer to the deadline, but right now, we have nothing. Rice to Tab and Mane to Thiago for a -4. No, I don't think I would. Roll feels wrong. We'll probably bring in Mbeumo. Mate, the coin is here. Just have a go on the coin. If the coin tells you Mbeumo, it's a guaranteed hat trick. It's a guaranteed hat trick. Let me know which way you want it. If you want heads for Mbeumo, tails a roll, we can do that. The coin doesn't miss. The coin makes all my decisions. I'm just a fraud. I genuinely should probably retire and just put a coin in this seat and just let you guys flip on it. That's all we need, isn't it? Should I start Alderente or Senesi, Tom? Ooh, I probably would go with Senesi. Yeah, that's probably who I'd go for. You've asked me then who to captain. I'm personally going with Haaland. Vice is very strong on Bruno Fernandes. I just don't think Newcastle are that good in the recent weeks. Trust the coin. Yeah, trust the coin. It just knows. It just knows. Okay, coin. Head is going to be Rice and Mbeumo. Tails, Haaland to Ekatike. Okay. Right. Heads is Rice. Tails is Haaland. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? This is a big one. It's landed on heads. It's landed on heads. So Rice to Mbeumo is the one it wants you to do. There we go. The coin's advanced internal algorithms. Oh, mate, the meme coins were just the ones back in the day, weren't they? I literally was just flipping a coin for like an hour because people weren't even bothered anymore. But yeah, there you go, mate. It is suggested binning off Rice. The coin knows. The holy coin knows. It just knows. It knows Haaland is going to be fine, and it knows he will bang in a hat trick. It's just the way it goes. It is genuinely just the way it goes. Do keep any questions coming in for myself or the coin. We are a double act now. I do split the ad revenue with the coin. So any super chats you've got as well, the coin takes a commission. Start Tarkowski or Sharda, your thoughts versus the coin. I know he is very high up in terms of like a lot of models. Tarkowski is very high up in there this week. So I probably would lean more towards Tarkowski, but heads is going to be Tark, tails is going to be Sharda. Heads it is. There you go. Heads it is. Seljao, Pedro, and Rogers for Ekatike and Tavernier for a -5. Not for a -5. I wouldn't do that. Or a -4. No. Plot twist. Tom's a home magician, and the coin flip continuously takes place off screen from us. Always got it going. Just a constant flicker. There you go. Like that. FPL coin knows the models. FPL coin just runs all the models. He really does, doesn't he? Like I said, guys, we're going to be wrapping up in about 4 or 5 minutes. We'll let, obviously, the big boys go and do their thing. But, of course, if you want to come and chat to me after I do wrap up today, I will be chatting to all the members in the FPL Cartel Discord server. Come in there. We've got loads of great competitions, team ratings, everything. Yeah. Please help me choose Sobo. I mean, Sobo is fine, and I was tempted to bring him in, but the coin has spoken, and we're sticking with Enzo. Yeah, we're sticking with Enzo. Oh dear. Hi Tom, really stuck between going from Rice to Mbomo or Sobo, or whether to start Konza or Senesi. I think you could start Senesi, but I would personally go Mbomo above Sabozlai. Yes. Mate, just one more. Take a hit to move Rice or Enzo out for Dango, or bring in someone else. I don't think I would. He is a guaranteed 4, but I think, Hill, Richards could also maybe get something out of their games. Defensive contributions, potentially clean sheets as well. Haaland to Ekatike and Neto to Palmer. Not for me. Not feeling those moves. Yeah, I'm not feeling those moves. Right. Looks like. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Looks like a lot of the big boys are currently live, so we're going to go and let them do their thing. Let me have a look if anybody is active that we can go and raid that's a little bit smaller. Let's have a look. It doesn't look like any of the ones I've got listed are live right now. But if FPL Morgs is doing a deadline stream, go and check him out. A great guy, great content creator. He would be the other one. But we are going to leave it there for today, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if you want to obviously come and chat to me, I will be live in the FPL cartel, chatting away to you guys, getting my voice to recover a little bit, going for a wee immediately after this stream. But yeah, I'm going to spam the link in. Come and join us. Like I said, everybody, thank you for what potentially could be one of the biggest streams I think we've ever had on the channel. I'll have to go and check the numbers in the back end, but yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for your continued support. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to go for a wee. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter what I do with my team if there are any last minute decisions, barring like any Haaland news or anything like that. But otherwise, we are going to roll this week and take our team into next week. Again, thank you very much for all your support, guys. It really is appreciated. Best of luck this game week, and I will see you in game week 28.